All right. Let's see. Go live. All right. Going live. We're live. All right. Yo, what's going
Pretty
on,
actually
everyone?
live.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Cat Brains, episode 27 at Last Cloudia podcast. Title for today is going to be No Time for Waifus, Old Men for the Win. Today, I'm accompanied by my good friend, That Zero.
Yo.
That's the weakest yo ever. And then we also have the great and almighty Jawline.
You know why it was
Almighty.
weak?
What's up, everyone?
It's weak because I still don't see it.
You don't see it?
There it is. Hold on. I think it came up
Oh,
finally.
come on, man. Did it go all the way
There
through?
it is.
No, I see it now.
You
It's
see it?
fine.
All right.
Got it now.
You got it
Took
now?
a minute, but we're here.
Golly, man. Because it actually said we are live on my screen, so that's why I jumped the
Good
gun.
stuff.
All right, guys. So we actually have the newest character, Balin. Really awesome. Any comments real quick before we start, Jawline, on the new Balin? Because I know me and you got him. Zero got lucked out.
Crash unit.
Ooh, girl.
Oh,
That is rough.
he
I'm
is
kidding, obviously.
a very good Balin. What he should have been
What he
when he
should've been.
first came out.
Okay. Wait, do you like the original Balin still, or?
I mean, I liked him. He was cool and all.
Okay,
He was just like the failed experiment of like single wield.
Oh shit!
Wasn't that BB Shin? And then Balin just didn't help.
Well, I mean, no, Balin.
Or was Balin out first?
I
Was
think
Balin out before BB
Balin-
Shin? Maybe he was.
Wait, was he? I think it was Balin then BB Shin.
Yeah, it was Balin.
It was
then
Balin then
BB
BB Shin.
Shin.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start off. We're not gonna jump into my current build or anything. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the one that's provided to us in the gacha. So actually, no, this is my baby. No,
This is
mine. Yeah, this
yours.
is mine. What am I doing? It got kind of caught off guard on that one. Let's see here. Recommend, and here we go. So for he is a soldier type, non-attribute again. I know the most recent non-attribute attacker was Violet. Now we have another one, Blade Master Balin.
Violet, you mean Crow?
Oh, Crow.
mean
Sorry.
Crow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Violet was light.
Words are hard.
Theories. So yeah, he is gonna be a soldier type. Decent HP, 7149. Good MP. Strength pretty decent at 1543. I'm starting to see more of these high, STRs. Defense is good. INT is mediocre, but he doesn't really rely on defense too much. MND very solid at 1267 because he does benefit from the MND. As far as skills go, really good rushing swordplay. He does have to run in a little bit. I'm not too sure on the how many hits it is right now because I can't remember. Jolene, do you remember how many hits this one is? You don't?
Nope.
Scrub.
I think it was just 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
I did hear from somebody
Yeah.
that it's strictly line of sight. Like
Line of
there's
sight.
no range restriction
Right.
on it. Is that accurate? I don't have him, but I saw somebody say that in the main LC Discord. That basically from any range, as long as you line up vertically, you can dash across the string.
I think it's pretty
I
accurate.
haven't tested it.
Yeah, because I
haven't
usually
seen
do
it.
S3 and then I kind of go ham with everything else because S3 kind of just
Fair.
clears the map.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so everything so far is ability wise is really good. We have flashing, swordplay, 4 dash, medium area combo attack. Again, he does have like some traits that help him out with these as far as extra hits, as you can see right there. Silver Blade Master trait deals extra hit attacks. And then my absolute favorite, we also have absent swordplay. Now this one will instantly close the gap and just kind of destroy everything. We kind of notice honestly with this one that he starts off, but I feel like the AoE just kind of gets bigger. Anything around him gets kind of pulled in. So at some points, I feel like I'm wave clearing, pretty quickly with this one. So by far, one of my favorite ones, out of his kit is going to be, absent swordplay because it's just how well it, it performs. Have you had any positive experiences with any of these skills, Jolene, that you like the most?
There's 3 fucking nukes.
Nukes. You say you've been testing them in arena, right?
Yeah, manually controlling. Just a quick summary. Manually controlling him in arena, a monster.
Yeah.
He's crazy good. As far as the auto goes, maybe I don't know. I didn't spend enough time on it, but
Right.
I tried to make him, because people auto arena or whatever, and I tried to make him work, but for whatever reason, he just sat on his skill stocks. Even if I put him on no priority 1, 2, and 3. Normally, if you have them on a priority, like they'll use other skills. But for some reason, I don't know, Balin just doesn't use anything other than the skill that you have set as the priority.
Really?
maybe I just got to do more testing, but that's just what I noticed, and I was like, "What the hell? This is weird." Because normally units use their skills.
Yeah.
Balin is like, if I don't have this one, I'm not gonna use anything.
That's
Oh
super
It
man,
was
annoying.
weird.
dang, that's pretty crazy. Well, I mean, I know because I kind of had a feeling he's gonna be really good in arena too, especially with that S3. So when you said that it was confirmed how good he was, that was pretty cool.
So S3, what
Mhm.
kind of AoE are we talking about? I assume not like Roy level, but I assume pretty big, like
Yeah,
XPet
it's not
or
like
what?
Roy, but
No,
it's very
it's
big.
it's minimal. Like, oh man, it's so close. It's so close to Roy, in my opinion. Like, I don't think
Okay,
it
so
takes.
probably second biggest AoE or tied for second biggest AoE.
I don't
Is what you're
I don't
saying.
have every unit, so I mean, who I know isn't X Christmas a little bit pretty good too on AoE?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying as XPet.
I
Yeah,
think it feels like it's bigger than
than
hers.
hers. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
does. I mean,
So is
there's
so probably second then. Second
yeah,
best probably. Um,
solid,
I mean Shift Rollins is pretty good too, but I think that's
right?
probably also about XPet size. So
Yeah,
cool.
but I
Nice.
feel like S Rollin. I feel like not everything hits. Where Balin, everything just hits, and I don't know, it feels good when it
Sweet.
does. Now that we also have the special formless wheel, powerful combo attack. Nothing special going on with this. You know, it is what it is. It is really flashy. I do like it a lot. It's kind of I've been thinking people say it's kind of a combination of his original and his kind of a newer version. So really cool. I don't really concentrate too much on the damage on that one. And the special boosts and stuff like that. But it is flashy. It's fun. I do like it. Moving on to his traits, Silver Blade Master. Now, what I really do like, and I'm hoping we see a lot more of this, even like better versions, is the traits where they give us extra hits on single wielders, because I just feel like that's what they need. So for here, but this one's only boss wave. So boss wave when only one weapon is equipped, physical attacks deal extra attacks. It's funny when I first read this zero and Jawline, it was like early in the morning and I could not comprehend this part right here.
Yeah, I noticed. I was like, this man is having a stroke.
I could not comprehend it. Like
It was so funny.
I was like, hold on, let me look at this again. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's like,
hey, regular attacks are words that exist there.
So
and your brain couldn't see them.
I couldn't. It was like 6 in the morning. I was like, regular attack +1 hit. So regular attacks is +1 hit on boss wave. Skill 1 is +2 hits. Skill 2 is 3 hits, and skill 3 is 5 hits. So I do like that it's not a chance. I believe S Rollin is a chance, right? For
Correct.
extra attacks. Yeah.
Yep.
So his
it's
is
conditional.
Yes,
it requires you to also have like alive teammates to have that.
Exactly.
Chance.
So the only condition here is boss wave, which was really nice of them. I do really like this. And skill 3 and extra 5 hits is it's huge, especially since Balin is gonna be a critical DPS non-attribute attacker. Adding pursuits to that, just more and more hits. So he just performs so well with this trait. Extra damage, he gets an extra 30%, and then damage cap plus 20k. So very, very nice. That trait one is so solid, and the picture looks great. I love the way that looks. We have meditative state for his trait 2. When only one weapon equipped is one sword, no non-attribute, no attribute. Are they missing an N there? I didn't realize that. Yeah, attribute damage plus 50%, damage cap plus 12k. When physically attacked, you cut damage taken proportional to closeness of attacks, max minus 20%. So again, I can't really confirm how well this works because he kind of destroys everything so quickly. Just kind of give you like a heads up of how I took him into towers 91 through 95, I mean 9 to 100 this weekend, and he just did so well in there. But yeah, the closeness minus 20 is, it is what it is on that, really.
My assumption is it's basically reverse Maglion, I assume, without actually being able to test it, where like if he's right on top of something, you get minus 20. If you're like 3 unit hitboxes away, which is roughly Maglion range, then you're probably at 0 and not getting an effect. But considering you're going to be on top of people and murdering their face, he's going to have some good DR.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is nice.
He can be a little squishy though. Just yeah. So I do kind of build him a little bit of extra defense. So it was nice to see, the possible, minus 20%, potentially could happen. Damage taken is minus 20% more from non-boss enemies with lower STR than the unit, which ideally is most of the time is going to be, it's not really going to be an issue for non-boss enemies unless you're going into like the hardcore towers or maybe even maze. I didn't get
There's arena.
There's arena.
I was thinking of I
Oh yeah,
thought of arena.
yeah. Oh yeah, true. See, I haven't taken him into arena yet. That's a way of looking at it too. How was he performing defense wise in arena?
I haven't used him or built him as a tank. I'm in the process of trying him out,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't have any high expectations just because I don't know. I don't have any high hopes, but I say that just because I mean he's a soldier type, so human slayer and all that jazz. And then if we look at his attribute resistances real quick, he's negative to fire, negative to ice, negative to earth. It's only 5, yes, but it only takes 5 for enemies to like use weak point boost and just destroy you even more. He's +5 to thunder. So I guess Mikasa won't do that much, but I mean it's still Mikasa. And then if they happen to have gaze at the end, he's in the negative already.
Right.
So he's only really safe from light and dark, assuming people use gaze on defense.
Right.
The cool thing though, or some cool things about his ailment resistances, he's nil to blind, pretty cool. He's res to silence. I was surprised at that. He's res to curse, neat. Neutral to stun, and then he's weak to illness, which is the original Balin is also weak to that. I'm assuming it's because he's old, feeble or some shit. I don't know. And yeah, all around his ailment resistances, I guess they could be better, at least the ones that matter the most, like stun. And being res to curse though, that's very cool. But back to what we were saying. I don't have high hopes for him being like super tanky. Could he take some hits? I don't know, maybe. But I'll let y'all know whenever I do try it.
It seems like Roy would pretty much nuke him pretty quickly.
Unless he's dead.
That
Balin
I love
kills
how
him
it's like so
faster than Roy
quiet.
uses
Like,
S3.
That is true. I mean, he could. Honestly,
saying.
it would miss. It really would. If Roy were to shoot an S3 and Balin were to do his S3, Balin would disappear and it would completely miss. But I did notice that. I mean, I did when I was like, man, whenever I saw this, I was like, damn, neutral stun, which is kind of like a big deal. So I did have to either run some resist equipment, which ideally I didn't want to because there's not much for him. So I ended up running like Black Diamond just to get that resist, and then a stun resist. But other than that, you could just run, stun nil, which is 10 SC, which kind of sucks. So yeah, I do wish also that his ailment resistance is a little better on the stun area, because once Balin is stunned, it's over. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like Equilibrium is pretty much an auto include for me on like light, dark, and neutral.
Right.
So like that makes him nil to curse, and then I generally just run Black Diamond on anybody because I absolutely love that accessory.
Right,
so
it's
like
so good.
it helps his illness, it helps the stun, and then it's also going to help his strength and his mind.
Yeah, 5%.
Which
I'll
is
take
pretty
it.
great. So
yes, definitely. So that's what I'm running. I'm actually running that exact setup right now as well.
And I assume the res to silence is probably because of silent contemplation because it's his SCT battery.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah, makes sense.
Definitely
helps out a little bit.
Yeah. So going over his skills, one thing I want to point out. What was we say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say real quick. I do find it funny though that he's nil to silence, but he voluntarily takes silence in order to benefit himself. Silent contemplation. I'm just saying, flavor wise, it's kind of funny. Like he's literally choosing to be quiet and like.
Well, have you played the little?
You can't tell me.
Yeah.
You can't tell me to be quiet though.
Did you play through the story on the event yet?
Of course I did.
Okay.
I skipped all of it.
Oh my god. Okay, so he's like, oh my god, both of y'all are horrible. So like the whole time he's like hitting on girls, like the whole video, the whole story. It's actually pretty funny.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, he's far from quiet. So going over his skills, we have Blade God's Charisma. Now this is awesome. Can I click on you, please? No,
Nope.
not gonna do it. All right, there we go.
You just click and hold.
Yes. So I love this. This is great. Especially for single willows. So if you have like shift roll-in or A2. This is going to benefit them greatly, or anybody else that you're running single will. So give all allies the effect when equipped with one weapon. And it could be any weapon. It's not specific, which is really nice. Physical damage plus 20%, and then you also get damage cut plus 4K. Very similar to his original Charisma, which I believe was 2K, but all across the board on, I believe, physical damage. So, really nice. I don't know if it was a percentage up on his original. Can't remember that.
No, it was just a 2K cap.
Just a 2K cap, right? So, and of course, only one unit's alive, doesn't stack with other charismas. Awesome. This is returning from his original form, restores all own SCT for 15 seconds. Casting time cannot be shortened. Now, the reason why that is because it is absolutely 100% instant. It really is just, it happens so quickly. And it's very good. You don't really need to run Honey Elixir if you don't want to. It does take a little bit of a longer, time. But if you're impatient, Honey Elixir is fine because he can proc Goddess Kiss really well. So this is absolutely amazing. I love this thing. It's so much fun just to cast. Very similar to Ruination, I believe, in Baran. Yeah. So for a couple of skills, a lot of the stuff's repeating. We have Fighting Spirit 4. This one's gonna give us an STR HP plus 10%. These I love. Heroism, 3 stats and 1 huge win, and 10% to SCR defense and HP. That is amazing. We have Advanced Aim Vitals. This one's going to be critical power plus 50% because he is going to be a crit user. Proud Force, again, critical hit to recover HP. He's going to be critting a lot. Also, MND is really high, so he's going to proc those Proud Force really good. So far, just playing around with this MND, I'm receiving like anywhere between 1500 HP, per hit. It's pretty ridiculous. We have Illusion, chance of evading physical attacks, really good. Brute Slayer, now this this caught my eye, man. So he calls a Brute Slayer and Divinity. So it's pretty gnarly to see. There's very few units that have this. Loxaeus is one. He has Brute and Human. Valen has Brute and Divinity. So Brute Slayer is going to give us Beast, Plant, Insect, Bird, Fish, and Creature. And then Divinity is going to give us God, Dragon, Spirit, and Undead. And then he also comes with Special Boost. So they really just Hail Married us right here with this. This is really good. We have Auto Crit, very nice. Auto Haste. Ardor, now this is going to give us a critical rate at max HP, which he does maintain pretty well. Heal Force at max HP, SC3 recovery speed 10%. So he really just is a battery of just, he's so good. Any comments on any of this stuff, Jawline? Because I know me and you have them.
So his original form, or OG Balin, had Diamond Blade, which is 30% more damage to stone, machine, and dragons.
Oh, yes.
So that would have been cool, but
awesome.
he doesn't really need it.
No.
And going to the Brute Slayer and the Divinity Slayer, that's I know maybe people don't realize just how good of a fucking package having Brute Slayer and
insane
Divinity Slayer is, but that's astronomical. I don't know.
That's like 95% of PvE enemies.
Yeah,
dude. The only thing that he needs is what is it? Machine Slayer
and Stone.
And what?
Stone
and Human
and Stone. No, I'm saying like PvE. PvE
gotcha,
gotcha.
PvE.
Oh,
it's pretty rare you're fighting humans aside from like, the Advocates fights or something.
Yeah, you're very rarely doing that. So literally just Machine Slayer, Stone Slayer is all he's missing, and then he has everything for PvE. But with that being said, the fact that he's got Brute Slayer and he's got Divinity Slayer, this already is literally all of the gates. Well, yeah. It's all of the gates.
He nukes the gates. I spent a whole night doing gates, and he just nukes everything. It's disgusting.
So this is incredibly insane. I'm a big fan of this.
Right. So good, and he gets special boosts, just even more percentages.
Just because.
Just because.
You shouldn't have to worry about it.
Right.
and not only is having Brute and Divinity like crazy good, but since I since I have them and I use them now, it might not seem like a big deal for some people, but this is such a like in another aspect, it's a good quality of life thing that he has these
Mhm.
because now I don't have to fucking swap slayers every time I go do another boss or whatever. I just
Right.
take them and good to go.
It's really annoying. That's why most of the time, what Slayer you're running, I'm like, I'm not running a Slayer because I'm just so sick of swapping out Slayers. So I'm trying to like do builds around not using Slayers at the moment, and it does work most of the time, with a lot of the newer units. But just the fact that this is, I don't have to ever worry about it with him, and I'm getting maximum damage every time as well. So
Yeah.
it's so
So
good.
Just build more damage. You'll be fine.
Exactly. Shoot up for life.
I got my crow doing it. Feels
Oh,
pretty
really?
good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I
You
got him
know,
basically able to run
I've had a
everything.
couple
It's pretty
guys in
good.
chat talking about how much fun they're having with Crow. So,
He's grown on me. He
he's
was my
grown.
least favorite of all the units, and now that I've gotten to use him more,
Morgana was the
I'm
same way with
actually
me.
I'm really starting to dig him. The fact that his S2 and S3 are both persisting are really great. And he absolutely demolishes the new Rainbow Gate.
Oh,
I really love it.
I've been using
yeah.
what's me and Odium are using Joker on the new Rainbow Gate because that dude's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have auto crit, very nice, very expensive. Auto haste, also, nice. It's expensive. We definitely would never pay for that one if it was available.
No.
And then we also have I already went through these gale force. So non-attribute attack race 3. This one's gonna give us a 2k cap plus 30% to non-attribute damage. We also have crit raise. Again, we want crit as much as we can with this guy, so he gets a +5 crit rate and then critical strength +50. It's basically a cumulative to another advanced aim vitals, which is very nice. Let's see, where were we? We also have Pose of Glory when defeating an enemy, slightly recover SCT. It's always great to have that. Not very expensive, but nice to have for free. Serenity. This is amazing. Boost physical damage based on MND when physically attacking enemy defense -15 and deal damage. I actually want to see this on a arc so that could teach us amongst other units just because that's so awesome. I really like
Dude,
Serenity.
if nothing else, like just being able to throw on ignore 15% defense is
Right.
great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like normally you need machine boost for that, and I'm still waiting on that high boost arc. Hasn't come my way, but like you were able to just stack up more and more and more. Oh god, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really great. Who else was it? Morgana, the only other one that boosted his damage
Yes.
with mind as well.
Yes. This is the
Correct.
newest
Yep.
unit that does it.
So
Yep.
this Serenity pretty neat. I look forward to. So
Yeah.
we have what Thaumaturgy ring. We've got Serenity.
We
Yeah.
have what was the other one?
I
Maybe
will
we'll
say
get
though,
more in the future.
yeah, I will say though numbers on this. Serenity is Thaumaturgy ring plus. It is 30%, not 20%.
Oh, it's 30.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
30%. So it's pretty
Holy.
good.
I was running it as
And I
20.
don't and I don't have the data mine on it, but I'm pretty
Right.
sure Morgana's is less. I think it's only 15 or
I thought it
20%
was
for
20.
Morgana's because I did some testing and I found that like Int with Thaumaturgy just tended to do more than adding mind. I could have had some faulty tests, but it seemed like Morgana's was a little bit less or equal. I definitely don't think it's 30% on Morgana though.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, still great.
Anyway, great
Yeah,
skills.
so great. We have
Yeah.
Sword Mindset 2. Oh, I love
Nice.
this. Sword
I
and
love it.
clothes this time instead of sword and armor. That's what's mainly different because I know we have Roland doing sword and armor, but this one's sword and clothes. So equipped sword strength is plus 100%, and then clothes defense and MND plus 50%. Again, he's proccing off Serenity from that MND. So just more and more and more. He really just doesn't. He has no issues capping. It's nuts. Next, we have favorite sword when equipped with one weapon, physical attack plus 30%, attack damage plus 10k on the damage cap. Mystic favor. This one is going to be make sure that this is active. I don't know why you wouldn't, but for this to work, you do have to have favorite sword effect. Plus 50% when only one weapon is equipped and physical attack critical occurs. Chance for damage at 150% and damage cap plus 15k. The only problem with this is that is a chance. Yeah.
I mean, he gets instant strike for free.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's nice. It really is. I don't really. I wish it was like a continuous 15.
Doesn't
But
Well, doesn't that plus 50% affect the damage cap on favored sword, so it turns it into like 15k instead of 10k? I was
Uh,
told that, but I can't test it. So
favorite
I
sword.
honestly I wonder that too, but I have not tested it, so
Oh,
I
I didn't
have
even think
no
about it
input.
like that.
Like
yeah,
I
I mean
read it, I
that's
was like, favorite sword effect plus 50%, period.
Period.
So
yeah,
I'm assuming it
I,
does. If it doesn't,
yeah,
okay. But
So it'd be an extra
yeah, so
5k.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, plus
Yeah.
5k.
Okay.
15% more damage and then
I mean, it's
5k
yeah.
more.
I would assume so, honestly, because
Yeah,
yeah, that's actually
I
pretty.
would hope.
Yeah, I
Easy
would.
to go test though.
Yeah, very
Just
easy.
go in,
Yeah,
cap,
it's
turn
easy to
off
go
Mystic
test.
Sword, see if it caps for the same amount.
Yeah.
Bleh, done.
Right.
So this next one's gross.
Guard breaker.
Yeah.
When only one weapon is equipped, chance to nullify guard. Boom.
So
This is 20% chance.
Mic drop.
20 so putting this into perspective, normally Shockwave is 7%, I believe,
Hmm.
and Shockwave 2 is 14%.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
So
20%. Granted, single hits, which means you have less hits overall.
Right.
So it
right.
kind of balances out at least, but I assume this is part between this and all the crit stuff is probably the reason that he nukes tanks in arena. At least I
Oh
heard he
no, yeah.
demolishes tanks.
Trust me, I've used them like manually or whatever, and I
Yeah.
definitely see guard breaker kicking in quite a bit,
Yeah.
and that's also why obviously tanks are still going to be tanky, with even if they aren't guarding, but guard breaker and just even having shockwave and guard breaker,
Hmm.
man, it makes a huge difference when going up against the guarding units. It's amazing.
Isn't it like it's
Oftentimes, oftentimes this is why I can nuke
right?
tanks because of guard breaker. It's ridiculously good.
So if what's his name? Rudo actually, makes Balin target him, he's screwed. Like, 'cause it just kind of
Yeah, I
breaks.
mean,
Yeah, it's like you don't want him to do it at that point. That's
so yeah, it's
crazy.
it's real insane.
Yeah.
It's a nice skill.
I didn't think. I haven't done any arena. I didn't even think about using Shockwave. That's like, damn, holy shit, just cutting through everything. Yeah, and that's kind of like that's what he is. He just yeah, that's interesting. So moving on, we have Doppelhander. Great when when only weapon equipped is a sword. Physical attack plus 20, crit rate plus 10%. Amazing. Physical attack damage plus 5k. Love it. So good. I'm glad it was free. Because I think it is pretty costly.
12.
It
12,
is
yeah.
12. Yeah.
So sword boost, nice. Sword high boost and sword mega boost. All just boom.
I
You
want
Why
to
don't.
get
not?
all of them.
You literally
Yeah.
got all of them. You don't need anything else. Like I said, this kit is just so damn good. It fits him well. I don't see any real negatives in it. They even gave him ultimate boost for the hell of it. So if you want to throw an ultimate boost 1 for 3 SC, I think it was what it costs. Why the
Yeah.
hell not? Quick trigger again. You start off at the at the start of battle. You get 1 stock. That's just dumb. So you need, first wave, you need to knock out some enemies. There's a chance of getting a random skill. Hopefully it's S3. Just clear that wave in instant. Indomitable Spirit, I love it. You can stack it with Awaken and others. This is free. I wish this was teachable. I like it a lot. When taking lethal damage, survive and recover 50% HP once per wave. When surviving lethal damage, you get a skill damage plus 30% buff. So very nice. And then we have Kill and Giant 2. Again, more damage cap, skill and damage. Skill and special damage to bosses plus 20%. So if you wanted to throw on Giant Killing 1, you can. Ambition, when physically attacking enemies with more HP than the unit, physical attack damage plus 20%. Let me see. His HP is around, I think mine's around 11. So ideally, his is kind of higher than most, but not really. So this,
Like that basically reads as a constant plus 20% damage in
yeah.
PvE.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah. PvE. Oh, of course. Yeah. But I'm talking about PvP.
PvP, it's definitely against tanks, which is what you care about.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, it's just stronger.
So
That's great.
yeah, great. White investments when close equipped, mine 50%, cut faint time. Yes,
This is great.
this is awesome.
This is so
Because
good.
he needs more MND,
He does.
Why not?
Clearly he needs it.
Yeah.
That's
And
pretty neat though.
Yeah.
And I also really love like the cut faint time. I don't know about you guys, but I found that going through Maze recently, the all-star skill that I had to put on everybody,
Drink
like
resist.
normally, oh yeah, we do some honey elixir and like all that sort of stuff. Concentration MVP. Holy fuck.
Oh,
I love
really?
concentration so much to just get people back in. I mean, granted, I wasn't going for time, so like if I was
Yeah.
trying to like speed run stuff, I
Right.
just wouldn't let people faint somehow. But When I was going through trying to like get units to solo and just like conserve resources and stuff, like you eventually faint, and like that minus 50% to faint duration feels incredible.
Yeah,
It's the difference between living and dying.
definitely. So overall, this kit is an A plus. I really
Yeah.
can't see anything wrong with it.
Hmm.
After completing his skill board and not equipping anything on him, he was capping. It was pretty nutty. It was pretty nutty. So
I think it's fair to say Bayland is probably the new best starter unit. Like, as far as
yeah,
the kit you have, like, he's a direct, massive, massive upgrade to somebody like Baran.
right.
Like,
Over the top
really.
upgrade.
He doesn't need dual wield.
No.
He has a built-in SCT battery. He has stuff like Pose of Glory that you would want. And instead
Mhm.
of leeching his own HP like Baran does, he just constantly self-sustains indefinitely with like Proud Force and all his mind buffs without having to teach him anything.
Right.
And like teaching crit stuff is super duper easy. And you get all the slayers and all that sort of shit. He's neutral and like,
Mhm.
yeah, he seems impressively good for new players and old players alike.
I might make a little alt just to take him through story and see how he
Oh,
does.
you mean you did it with Baran, so why
Dude, that'd be
not,
fun.
right?
I should do that
Because I
too,
mean,
actually. That
the
sounds
the
funny.
only thing that I still favor in Baran is his super armor. But aside from that,
Mhm.
Bayland is like far superior when it comes to like the new player friendly unit. But yeah, I'm interested now, and I might do it, see how that super armor, like how big of a difference it makes. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd
Imagine him
assume
with
he's gonna
super
do
armor
well.
though. Imagine Balin with super armor.
I'm
Holy
So,
assuming
shit.
he's gonna do great
Yeah.
just because of fucking Brute Slayer, Divinity Slayer, and Special
Yeah.
Boost.
yeah. So,
That's
question.
insane.
When I first saw him and people were like, "Oh, he's so broke. He's going to be the best thing in the world, the new power creep or whatever." My first reaction is what it always is, which is like
Shut up.
he looks real flinchable. Like that was my first gut reaction. So like in the time you guys have used him,
Yeah.
have you found his vulnerability to flinch actually be a thing, or is he like Logia where like, oh, his S3 is just so fast that like it's almost impossible to get flinched out of it anyway? Or
I
like does he have some built-in super armor where like the attacks seem like they just go through more consistently than other units? Like what are your guys' feelings on that?
It's like 50. I've
thank
noticed.
you.
I know what you're
Oh,
asking,
yeah.
and I noticed it in PvP.
Uh,
Sometimes I feel like he has like a very small window of
Yes.
super armor,
Yes. Okay.
but then
I thought I was the only
sometimes
one. I thought I was the only one. I've seen it
but then
too.
sometimes I feel like he just gets completely nuked out of it.
Yeah.
So it's like a 50-50. I wouldn't say, like I said, he has super armor. It's just like a very small window where he just can't be unflinched.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
Well, that's
normally
something though. Yeah.
things just die, so it doesn't really
Really,
Yeah.
matter.
really though.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, that sounds
Actually, one boss he did really well on was, and he's becoming, kind of annoying, is the worm, the red gate. And me and Odium took two of our Balins in there and nuked him in like 2 to 3 seconds. It was absolutely stupid.
nice. Love it.
Yeah, so even those really annoying fights. Because I mean that one is one where you want to test that flinching because of all the crap that's all over the floor,
For
and
sure. Yeah.
and there was one time where all the stuff was on the floor and he completed his S3 during it. So I kind of was like, wait, what? And then I asked Odium, I was like, did you see that? Like he didn't flinch. He's like, yeah, I saw that. So we're like, maybe he's got like a little bit of super armor built in there or something. So I'm kind of glad that he said that 50-50. He kind of felt like it was there, but not really. But yeah.
Nice.
So
That's
Yeah.
enough though. That can make a big
no,
difference. And
definitely.
somebody else with something similar that I don't see very often is Ardene's S3 is similar too, where it
Mhm.
feels like his S3 has a significant amount of super armor on it, especially on the first half of it. Um, and I don't know why, but like if you pop that when you know there's an attack coming your way, odds are pretty high he's gonna chew through it, get his hits off, and then be able to go back into like using S2s or something.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's really cool to hear. So that's, I'm sure, a large reason why he's been feeling so good. In addition to obviously his really disgusting kit, but
Right, right. Yeah,
good stuff.
I absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've said this many times. Bane's one of my favorite characters. I've been waiting for this shit for probably 2 years already, since the original came out.
Do we want to go to Pades before we go to the arc?
We can. They're disgusting. So I mean, well, one of them is really disgusting.
Yeah, one of them's disgusting. The other one's like,
I mean, it's nice. It's nice.
You're cute.
Yeah,
I guess.
So we'll start with the cute one first, because we already know what we're talking about. And I actually don't. We can go to mine because I already bought it because I couldn't help it.
Whale?
I couldn't. I wasn't gonna say whale, but I could. No. I just couldn't. I mean, he's my favorite character. Just like Melee is one of my favorite characters. So I went out and bought all her stuff, even if I didn't even get the character, which is sad. So Heaven Blade. So we got Heaven Blade here. Critical rate +5, very nice. Physical damage +15%, and then physical damage cap +15k. STR is really good at 245, and MND 53, very nice. The only problem is single wield, so that 15k cap doesn't really do much. Critical rate,
massive cap as it is.
Exactly. Critical rate, if that was 10, that'd be pretty nasty. But it's 5, and if you really wanted to use, you could use the sword that you get on the arena for completing gold 1.
That's a good free to play.
Yeah, it's a good free to play option. So
just use Pure Blade. Just use Pure Blade.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can.
For crit rate.
Yeah, crit rate +3. You just lose -2, and you pretty much get as paid.
Sure.
And then I think it's 11 or 12% on physical attack for that one. So you only really lose the damage cap, which is, like I said, super minimal. It's not really that important. But people have been asking me a lot, should I get the sword or the robe? And the robe is,
the choice is simple.
Disgusting. It is hands down disgusting.
So dumb.
Let me see if we can pull this up real quick. Yes, we can. So for the robe, I did get it. So this one is an HP of 500, STR +82, defense of 152, and MND 138. Very, very good. But then we get to the traits, and it says chance to evade physical and magical attacks. Awesome. I believe it's 20%.
10%. 20 would be game breaking
for both. Yeah.
10% is good enough.
Yeah.
10% is good enough.
So boost the maximum stock of the third skill. Already, it's a winner, because we don't have skill stock 3. And we probably will never get it, honestly, unless you have Purple Orb or you're running a certain arc. So
I think we'll get it. I think we'll definitely
I think we'll get it. It's just a matter of time.
Maybe year 4 on a UR, something crazy.
I mean, if it is,
could be it's totally UR worthy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Or they might even throw it on an LR. Who knows? I've seen some
LR, UR.
I sure as fuck hope it's not on an LR, but you're right. Probably will, and I'm gonna be mad about it.
Well, I mean, you can pity LR arcs now, so
that's not good enough.
So we also get a continuous menace effect. 20% to your MND, which is really nice. Just so good.
So, okay, hold on. I want to clear something up for people because a lot of people don't know this.
Okay.
PSA for people, because not a lot of people know.
All right.
Metis isn't just a flat stat buff. In fact, a lot of these conditional buffs to mind, they're not just flat stat buffs. So we're talking Dusk, Metis, IQ Merity has a unique buff she can give herself that buffs all her stats, including mind. Tranquility buffs it. All of those things that buff you by that 20%, that actually augments the scaling on your healing abilities. So for instance, Proud Force is a 10% scaling of your mind stat. If you have Metis on you, it turns into a 30% scaling. It's additive. If you then also have Dusk, you get 50% scaling on your Proud Force procs.
Yep.
So for anybody that doesn't know, it's pretty nutty. Just adding Metis to your unit triples their Proud Force procs.
I actually run Dusk on him. So yeah, no.
and Dusk, great. × 5.
Yeah.
× 5 your Proud Force procs. Easy.
Like, why not? Why not use Dusk?
I assume as long as he's dealing damage, he's always max HP, period.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's nutty, dude. It really is.
Yeah. Shouldn't even be close.
I do wish that stun resistance was there, but it's fine. Curse resistance is going to be on it, and then we have a resistance to illness. I really wish we could just, point that resistance to that illness to that stun and help me out a little bit, but it is what it is. But overall, if you do get a chance to either get one or the other, if that's the option you do have, this clothing is the first thing you should get. The sword, if you do want to go full on whale, grab the sword too, but this should be the first thing you get if you're going to choose between the two. It's disgusting. There are other options for the weapon. Like I said, 15k cap. If you really wanted something similar to that, you could just do Scarlet Blade and call it a quits. Or you can do the crit way with the +3. I forgot the sword's name. Actually, I think I'm running it here. Let me see. Right here, Divine Sword, Asterion. This guy will give you, +3 to crit and the physical damage +12. So, there are options. So this is what you definitely want to run if you are going to be doing the paid route.
Yeah. And just to talk again real quick about the whole mind buff thing, it also is the same thing for debuffs. So if you're ever in a fight and you're like, why is my Proud Force like healing so little? This isn't normal. It's because you got hit with a big mind debuff by the boss. So if you have a unit with like Erase that can get those debuffs off of you, it will help you to fix that. And just be aware that if your stuff's fucked up, it's probably because you have that debuff. And I haven't really had to do this much because I usually just use illness. But when you're in some of those fights where enemies are healing an absolute ton for some reason, like some people early on struggle with like the Lancevale fight in Tower because he guard heals and heals off all your damage. You can use Spirit Riot, you can use illness, but you could also just like throw on a like high Nemesis. No, not Nemesis. Yeah, Nemesis. Yeah, for like a -35 to mind debuff, and then his heals are going to be less on his guard heals because those formulas all use the same thing.
Yeah,
so yeah, it just changes that scaling. So
honestly, to even kind of go back on the paid stuff, I would actually, if I were to like kind of like, let's say I had a chance to get either the sword or the clothing and the sword, I most likely would probably go the route of robe or clothing and then the both prisms. I really just. As much as I want the sword for like even collective purposes, I really just want the extra SC for him just to kind of play around. So I'd probably even go that route of getting the prisms first.
Here's my thing on his paid. So obviously his robe is insane. You should probably, if you're like DK said, if you're going to spend money and you're going to get one, you should most definitely get the robe. And then DK said that he'd get the prisms instead of the sword. And I mean, that's totally fine. That's up to him. But with Maze having like ended and the things that I came across, the things I came across in Maze was like gear, right? Like I had to select, okay, this unit is going to get this particular gear. So in a like just now that Maze is going to be a thing, now in my eyes, if their weapon is like, good enough to like purchase, like for instance Balin's, it's now that I've been done Maze, that extra just being able to give him his own weapon versus giving him a weapon that I could use on somebody else just gives it a little bit more priority in my eyes, even though a lot of people probably aren't going to be like, oh man, I'm gonna get this just for Maze. But just know that if you do get the weapon, it will be an option in Maze, right? Should you happen to use Balin. And it's just like I guess it's a minor thing, but it's something also to consider in the going towards the future with like these paid weapons or accessories or whatnot.
That's a very good point, Jolene. Actually,
I completely agree. So like if you're in that situation where you can get a prism or a weapon, I do think getting the weapon is worth after the robe. But it's also worth noting that because Maze is the case now, and we're assessing these things, it's pretty rare. Like this is one of the very rare case scenarios where the weapon isn't the priority. Like almost always, even if you have a really, really good accessory and the weapon's like just pretty good, it's probably more worth to get the weapon.
Right.
Just most times. Unless it's just a huge staggering difference, like this robe just being so dumb.
Yeah, and if I would have completed mazes, I probably would have been in the same boat. But since I only got to level 4, I don't have that mindset.
Yeah, at least you participated.
At least I did.
You got an account border. So
I did. I got a red one. I do actually, out of all of them, I do like the green one the most. So I probably will go. I'll go all the way next time it rolls around. But real life took over during May, so But yeah, great opinion there on that weapon, because now you got me, son of a bitch. Now you got me thinking about that. Oh, Jawline, I hate you and your brain sometimes.
Oh man, now DK is gonna go and throw another 80 at it just to get us.
Oh no!
All right, man. I don't have the arc. The arc is really good. We're gonna get there. The arc.
Yeah. Okay.
So the arc has got me very excited. It really has that UR touch to it. It really does. Just Oh, it's so good. So we do have the new SSR. So SSR going to be general. It's going to be in the general pool. Let me fix my light real quick. That is going to be. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I think it's being a pain in the butt. All right. So, we have Dreadworm Galanova, level 10. Actually, John, you take over this arc.
Me?
Yeah,
okay.
You take over the arc.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Dreadworm Galanova. First of all, the art, crazy, amazing. It looks insane.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of it. Like, LC does a really good job with art, but I think this might be my favorite just because of like how the aesthetic looks. There's Balin like right there.
He's all glowing.
Yeah, I think this is an amazing artwork. Looking at the stats, HP 2473, very nice. MP 26, pretty low. It's to be expected just with like the whole Balin, he's not a mage and whatnot. But MP, okay, cool. STR 359, very nice, very high. Defense and then mind are about the same, and they're okay. They're there. And then int, no one cares about the int just because
no one cares.
So overall, stats, nice. I think it's focused on the unit that it came out with, so I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Going on to the traits, first part, no attribute skill damage plus 25%. So any non-attribute attacker is going to get this. So very, very nice, 25%. When incapacitated, revive if 3 other allies are alive once per wave. So this is kind of like the reverse of Mindscape, right?
Yes.
Where like it revives your allies if you are the last one alive.
Yep.
And then this one, if you die and your allies are alive, then you get revived. So pretty neat, very interesting. And then third part, clothes equipped, critical rate plus 3%, and then physical attack damage cap plus 1,000. So we're steadily seeing more perm arcs with damage cap raises, obviously some more than others, but it's cool that we're getting more of these. The crit rate plus 3%, it's very nice. I mean, I'm not going to complain about free crit rate. It is only 3%, but it's free.
Yeah.
So neat. All around, I think it's a very nice arc trait here. I think just for the sake of like neatness, I think the revive if 3 other allies are alive. I think in terms of neatness, I think I like that. But obviously, the no attribute skill damage plus 25%. That's the big one. Very nice.
I'm really I just really hate that they do things like a 1K cap on single wield. Like I get it's a general pool SSR, but like 2-3K, like even 3K isn't a huge deal on a single wielder that's doing like 40-50K.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it shouldn't even be there. Like at that point, just like give an extra physical damage boost to just make it easier to cap, or like more crit. Like if that was like +5 to even like 10% crit instead of having that cap, it'd be miles more valuable.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this could be better. But
so moving on to the arc skills. So blind resist, we already got that, nothing new. Dragon killer, we got that, nothing new. Skill 3 boost. We finally got this, and it's on a perm arc. That surprised me the most, the fact that it was on a perm arc. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's just very surprising that it's on a perm arc. And also the cost, the SC cost. Like, I mean, skill 1 boost and skill 2 boost, they're the same, right? But you figured skill 3 is like, generally it's the unit's like big hitting move. So I assumed if this came out, it would have been like, I don't know, 6, right? Maybe 7 at the max.
I would think
maybe 7
5
at the max.
Probably. Yeah.
But yeah, so SET recovery speed minus 10%, and then damage plus 20% for the third skill. So this is insane. Immediately,
I can't see it. DK didn't pull it up. He's being a casual over here.
Oh, it's 4 SE.
4 SE.
I'm sorry,
Jesus
guys.
Christ.
I'm sorry. I'm fixing something on OBS. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's silly.
This is insane. Yeah. My mind immediately went to Roy because Roy needs it.
Yes, and yeah, actually that's what everybody thought.
I was like, oh god, another skill for Roy. Not that he needs it, obviously, but still.
But I mean, yeah, let's get that. Look, in arena, it just more damage.
Yeah, at 4 SC for 20%. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely. So yeah, skill 3 boost, very amazing. Glad we got it, and it's on a perm arc.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, Netherworld Nature. When revived, 30% SCR int, and then 15% crit rate. I don't think this will ever have a use in any situation. At least I don't think. Especially not for 9 SC.
I've
I
actually
mean, well,
used it. I've used it
you
in
What a
have?
arena.
wasted slot on an arc skill. What a
I
wasted
used
slot.
it on Roy to do because I would get nuked immediately because I didn't have proper survivability at the time. So what I did was I purposely let Roy die so that when he revived, he got that boost. Normally, because it was Roy versus Roy at one point in arena, so usually the Roy would spam both S3s or one S3 across, nuke everybody. I would have Ring of Wisdom on, get revived, and then I would wake up with this stat and the crit rate, and then nuke the entire team on the other side, and then set up for like the win. So it worked when I
I
needed
mean, it is
it.
Okay.
high buffs at least,
Right.
so
Alright.
it's something. So
Yeah.
It's niche.
Okay.
It's super niche, but it worked.
yeah, it's ridiculously niche.
Yeah.
And it's like it's also a pinnacle skill on a different SSR arc. So
Right.
like its inclusion here feels super janky to me.
Yeah,
Like I just
it's
don't even
old.
understand why it's
It's
here.
super old.
So yeah, Netherworld Nature, cool, I guess. And then Swordsman's Mindset,
Oh
7 SC,
Cool.
sword and clothes equipped,
God.
sword SDR plus 50%, and
Yeah.
then clothes defense and mind plus 30%. So amazing.
So good, man.
I like it. I don't have any complaints about it.
Did you get it?
Okay, so let me share my polls, right?
It's your birthday
Uh,
too. It was your birthday too, wasn't it?
no, no, no,
No, it was
no.
your birthday. It
So
was someone's birthday then. Okay.
I got it. I got him, or I got his arc,
Uh-huh.
and I got Balin on the discounted step up.
I hate
So
you.
for $10, I got Balin and the
Oh
arc.
man. You
I'll
deserve
take
it.
that any
No, you
day.
deserve it. You deserve it. You've been getting pretty thrown around the past couple collabs and stuff like that. No, I definitely think you deserve it. And I was kind of upset at you at first, last year when you were just pulling every single thing that came out. I think it was Maja, Lanceville, then Maja. Then you pulled like the units from the yeah, you were just on fire. I was like, I'm sitting here just getting nothing. I was like, when is it my turn?
And just something that's probably just like an inside joke between me and the guild server is that I think Zero had gotten like back-to-back rainbow pots. So I was like, man, what the fuck? Like, where's my rainbow pot,
And you got
right?
a rainbow pot.
And no, I didn't get
Oh,
one. And he was saying, I forget what Zero was saying, but I remember telling him like, this is I can't remember the words, but I was like, our Lord and Savior Gobble will reward us for our patience. We just have to wait. And then I got
Yeah.
this, and I was like, hell yeah, our Lord provides.
Yeah.
So yeah, Swordsman's Mindset, amazing, cool.
Nice.
I actually I use it just because why not?
Right.
So this is very very good.
The next one.
And then moving on to the final one,
Yes.
Doppelhander Boost.
Yeah.
6 SC. When only weapon equipped is one sword, physical attack and special damage plus 10%. Okay, and then damage cap plus 3,000.
Dude.
Dude,
Oh,
great.
good.
It's pretty good.
Because Dark Drive, it's 4 SC, right? For 10% to special and physical. For an extra 2 SC, you get an extra 3k cap.
It's
That's
a good rate.
it's
I mean,
dumb.
so if we look at normally what the value would be on dual wield, it's 2 SC for 1k. So
Right.
this is a little bit higher. It's about 50% better than what a normal skill would cost.
Right.
So that's about what we're looking at. But like
Great.
efficiency wise, yes, totally efficient for a single
Right.
wielder. I would absolutely run this.
So if we
Hell
get
yeah.
a 2,
So good.
probably like 9. Probably like if we ever get a Doppelhander boost 2, probably like 9 SC.
Well, no, that's just doppelhander. Like that's basically what like
Oh,
I mean, I guess doppelhander boost.
Wait, doesn't Roland have Doppelhander Boost 2 or some shit?
there was like a weird thing between the naming of that, so I don't even
Maybe he does.
know.
Or did they name it different? I swore he had some Doppelhander
I haven't checked
thing.
since that. I'll look at it later.
But anyways, the point is Doppelhander Boost for 6 SC, 10% physical
Great.
and special. Oh, he's got Doppelhander Boost too.
He does. Yes, Roland
Okay.
does. Yep.
And what's that? I forget. Remind me.
Plus 20%, plus 6k.
Yeah, it's a double. Okay. And what? Oh,
okay.
it's a 0 cost because it comes with this kit.
Yeah, it comes with
Okay.
them.
So I'd assume it'd be 12.
Okay.
Which would make
Yeah,
sense. It'd be priced about the same as base Doppelhander at that point. But instead it would have slightly more cap, but not the crit rate.
Right.
So, that seems pretty balanced, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, amazing. I like it.
Mhm.
Very neat. And then moving on to the Arc Ether reward, Dreadworm Scales, the HP 350, defense 50, mind 54, the trait physical attack damage taken -7%, and then cut faint time. I don't believe we have a lot, or if any, that cut faint time.
Right.
For equips,
we have the bird.
Songbird
is resist, isn't it? Or no, it takes it away. You can't faint with
Stonebird makes you immune to it.
Yeah, Stonebird makes you immune, but like cutting faint time, I don't think we have many of those.
No.
I think we do have one. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. I believe it's called Ogre Shield, something along those lines.
I think that gives you faint resist.
Faint resist, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's basically the equivalent to the faint resist skill. It normally costs.
Okay.
So I think it's like you get 30% more of that like faint threshold before you actually faint.
Gotcha.
But this is basically concentration, I believe. So I can check though. I assume it's 50% just like concentration, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, this is very very neat. And then no attribute resistances. The only ailment that that it has is illness. So overall, it's a good Arc Ether. I mean, it's not crazy, but I think it's good.
Yeah. There's use to it.
We have one. Yeah, we have one other thing that does it. Reindeer dress for women gives you 50% minus faint duration.
Nice. Okay, so we have very little. Yeah, I've never used it.
He also has, doesn't he? What else has? Isn't one of his?
Yeah, he's got white vest.
Yeah, yeah. So that's another. What, 50? Is this 50% as well?
Yeah, it's 50% as well.
So he has 100. If he uses that,
I would assume it's multiplicative, probably.
Yeah, 100% is essentially half. I think
something like that. Yeah,
something like that. After
we don't have a lot of faint stuff. So
but if you really wanted to, you could run scales on him. You could give him concentration as well, and like faint's not going to be a problem. For him.
Right.
He's gonna recover after like 5 to 10 seconds.
It's good. It's good if you're having trouble fainting. Definitely.
It's a good Arc Ether reward. I like it. I'll definitely use it. I'll make you. But yeah, overall, the Arc. I see nothing. It came out with Bayland. I think it suits, Bayland, and obviously there's other units that can make use of the skill, the skills on the Arc. But I think with it coming out with Bayland, I think it's a very good combination. Overall, I have no complaints with the Arc.
Right, and if we actually think back to when Bayland originally launched, and Bayland actually came out with another, Arc that favored him as well. And
one of the best
we use it for a long. I mean, we still to this day use it again. Gigantic enemy in front of him, and there's Bayland chilling in the center of it. So they kept true to a lot of, if you even look at the stats here, they really kind of stayed true to his Arc stats as well. I feel like there's like a little bit of love outside for Bayland here. He's just he really just has grown so much. Since his last time he's been out, I was really shocked when I saw, normally we're like, oh, there's something wrong or there's something I don't like, but I loved everything they did for this banner. So good. There's a lot of value, even if you don't get the character. The Arc is great for the future. Even if you got Roland, not Roland, but I mean, it's just it's great. So yeah, really good. Anything else, Shawline, on?
I guess people might ask or be curious as to what gear that you would run on Bayland.
So definitely. Yeah.
You guys want to discuss that?
Yeah, we can. We can go to what I'm running currently now, and I kind of went over what I'm currently running, and then maybe John. I think I should have a lot of stuff that you have, but like right now, the reason why I'm running what I'm running right now is because of the crit rate. I'm using Icy Guardian for the pursuits, so I'm trying to get the crit rate as much as possible. He doesn't really need a lot of This right here, I'm just more concentrating on the crit rate.
So, just throwing it out there. Why not just run the Kagasuchi, the God Blade on him for an extra 2% and a thicker stack of strength?
Yeah, he could
Does he
definitely.
does he really need the physical damage?
No, not really. He doesn't.
Not
I
really.
mean, even with the Goddess Kiss proc, he's going way over what he on his return. So yeah, I could see why. Yeah, it wouldn't really make a difference. That's a really good. Yeah, no, I could definitely do that.
There's also I mean, it's like the very first weapon that we got that was like super good is the Star Sword Lomitis. It's
Yeah.
got 5% crit. So
So new players go with that.
yeah, there's
Definitely.
that you
For
could
anybody that doesn't
definitely use.
know, sorry, real quick, for anybody that doesn't know how to get it, because I do think it's one of the best starter weapons if there's not an active event to give you a free weapon, which we did get in this event. But to get the weapon that Jaw just mentioned, you need to get to 3-1 in the storyline. And then at that point, enough of a side quest chain at the main Aldana capital has unlocked. You go do the Martial tournament, and the final reward for it is 500k Zell as well as this sword, which is really nice for a new account. So yeah,
Yeah, it's very nice. Like
good stuff.
Zero was saying, he doesn't need the physical. I mean, if you want to just 100% be sure that he's going to cap, okay, cool. You can give him like Pure Blade Muramasa, right? But if you build them properly and you shouldn't have that much issues capping,
Right.
if and you want more crit rate, you can forego the physical damage and just go with Star Sword and like Zero said, Kagu for the crit rate as well.
Mm,
So for
yeah,
swords,
yeah, Pure Blade Masa, and then Kagu if you guys have it.
right? There's like tons. There's
There's
a bunch of
options.
options,
There's
right?
options. There really is.
Yeah.
He doesn't need anything crazy on the trade of each weapon. I mean, if you really want to, you could probably run Zealous Blade. I mean, you wouldn't get anything off the INT, but I
Yeah.
mean, at least you get some MP and some crit rate.
Yeah.
And if you're
So
new, the event sword is great too.
Yeah,
Like the free one you get, like he'll grow out of it, but early on, it's great. Just use it.
definitely. Yeah. Also, Scarlet Blade. If you didn't get if you like, I really want the paid weapon, 1500. There you go. Scarlet Blade. It's
Yeah,
Crypto
there's
Shop.
something.
Yeah, there you go.
I think the more thing that's up for debate, just because we have lots of swords. There's a ton of options. Is
Mhm.
clothes. Like what do you put on him if you don't get his paid? You know,
Oh,
because he does wear clothes. So
right.
my things that I would call out is it's not my favorite, but the Berserk
Mm-hmm.
God
Movement speed.
Brigandine, it's kind of just a stat stick.
Yeah.
Because like we said, with his Proud Force heals, he's probably not going to be low HP, so I don't think he's going to get it. But it does give you some good ailment resists and +1 to movement speed, so that's pretty good. If you were around for the Slime collab and you're still relatively new, I guess
Put on Nilda
the the
Curse.
f- the free Shiona's I don't
oh,
short
Shion's suit.
Shiona, yeah, the Shion suit
Yeah.
is pretty good. Like fat stack of strength and some skill damage. That's pretty decent. One of my personal favorites probably would be Bravery Raiments, minus 12% physical attack damage taken. This is from the Lance SSR arc from the recent Lance Veil.
Oh yes.
And then it also gives you a +2 to movement speed, and I'm just
Oh
a sucker for
yeah.
movement speed. So between that and the damage reduction, I really like that for him. It also has a pretty high mind, higher than some of the other clothes.
Mm.
Um, let's see, what were some of the other ones? There's the Earthgarb Godforge is pretty good.
Yeah.
Gives
Yep.
him a +25 recovery to ailments, and then gives again a whole bunch of ailment resist, which is really nice, and continuous regen, which you're not really going to need that, but it's still pretty good.
Mhm.
Some decent stats on it. Um, real budget, ninja apparel.
Oh
Ninja
yeah, Ninja
apparel is just
Apparel.
great to throw on anybody. I think that's another +2 movement speed, an extra like 7% chance to evade physical attacks. So that one's nice. I like that as well. Lots of good clothes in general. One I would love to give him, but I can't, is the AER from Maiden's Lovely Banquet. I'd love to give him the maid uniform because it's got a nice effect on it.
Oh.
Um, so that's another one of those that like it reduces the faint time and makes you resist faint more and attracts enemies to you, which means like they'll go after him more. So hopefully his AoEs will hit. It's got really good stats, including like 50 strength. Like
Yeah.
it's a solid piece of gear, but it's only for the woman. There's not much we can do,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
um, there's also if you don't have Shion's suit, which is +5% skill damage, there
Mhm.
is another one that is called the Rokun Kinagashi. Yeah, Kinagashi, which I believe this is where you can purchase in the quote unquote Morgana, or no, not Morgana, Magrona area from the shop. It's a 5% attack skill damage boost. So there's that. I'm pretty sure you can purchase it from a store somewhere in the story. But I think there's one that it's probably maybe situational, but I was thinking of this when going up against the Kraken. Maybe you could just use a rogue tailcoat, right? So you don't have
Oh
to
yes,
worry
that's
about the defense and the mind debuffs. This honestly,
it's legit
just
probably the best actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
just because it nullifies any STR, int, defense, and mind debuffs. And it comes with, 126 mind, 20 MP, and then 300 HP. I don't see any reason, any reason to not use it. There's tons of clothes that you can use, right? But I think my favorite one to use is probably Rogue Tailcoat.
I think you're 100% correct on that. That is
Rogue
like
tailcoat.
you don't always need to. It's Tinkeely's.
Yeah, on Tequila's arc.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
OG
It's
Tequila.
it's the pop star outfit.
Oh, I don't have it yet.
Um,
Wonder I can't
you
buy.
don't have it yet.
No,
Oh,
not
geez,
yet.
what a casual.
What?
Jeez.
Oh my god!
I don't
Get
use
him outta
robes.
here.
What do you mean? I don't use robes.
Yeah, it's not a robe. It's a cloth.
It's a
Oh,
clothes.
they said it's a robe. I'm looking for robes. Bro. I was like, what are you talking about?
This dude. Yeah, okay. So, normally, like that nullify debuffs, like I
I'm
don't think it
close.
normally has a really big impact on anybody that use clothes. And Balin's kind of the first DPS, other than I guess Leona, that like could actually use it and have it be something that matters. So like you don't always need to dodge debuffs, but when bosses are debuffing you, that's such a crazy powerful effect. Because like they
Yeah.
can throw high debuffs on you and like just nerf your damage, nerf your healing capabilities. Yeah, that's absolutely the thing. And I would actually say like in very niche fights, if you can't fight against it, it's probably better in certain boss fights than his paid is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like absolutely that effect is
Just
invaluable. It's
nullify.
so good.
Like, nah.
It's insane. I don't see a reason to not use it.
Right. No, definitely. That's great.
Or at least be at least be one of the other high priority like pieces of gear that you could use on him.
Right.
But I think like generally I run rogue tailcoat.
Definitely. So for accessories, this something I kind of, because he is neutral to stun, I was really just trying to find something to keep him resistance without wasting so much SC on stun nil. So Black Diamond.
Desert Rose.
Desert Rose. Well, I mean, I like Black Diamond. An HP at 0, you auto revive, slightly recover HP once per wave, and then a nice little buff to STR defense, INT, and M&D plus 5%. You get res to poison, res to stun, and res to illness. So I really like this one. Another option too that I thought about doing, I haven't done yet. I'm already gonna hear it from Jawline. It's fine. I'll take it.
Jesus.
Is the ring. Which I believe is this guy down here. I think this one is right here. Yeah, this one also has a res to it too to help you with that stun, and it gives you great stats all the way around. When dying, heal all allies and revive all dead except unit once brave. But I do like the battle start, auto cast protection, and magic barrier. So very nice. I do like this. I also would run this if I didn't have the Black Diamond right now, or hell, maybe I just run both. Who knows?
Yeah. And the other obvious thing that's not new player friendly is Equilibrium is just like top tier.
Definitely.
On anybody when you want to add damage, there's just like nothing really better to throw on light, dark, or neutral.
Equilibrium. Oopsie. So good right here. Equilibrium Spear. Okay, clicking it. There you go. Non-attribute. I mean, light, dark, non-attribute, physical attack damage plus 50%. So good. And then resistance to curse, which will help him out because he is resistant to curse, so that put him at nil. So very nice.
Even more light and dark resist. Check that
out. The one that I was saying, Desert Rose, 60 MP, 250 HP, Earth / no attribute attack damage plus 10%, and also gives stun, curse, and illness res. So that's pretty great.
That's beautiful. That's perfect. I would
I
totally
think
run that. Yeah.
yeah, this is probably one of the ones that I wouldn't remove just because it offers a lot damage and then the ailments. That's
Location
insane.
of that one, so that people can know.
Yeah, you
Oh,
get that from Ardene's arc. I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, okay.
The
let
yeah,
me.
the big like desert cruiser machine
Gotcha.
thing.
Yeah, Hartman Craft Saint Rose.
There you go.
That's the Desert Rose Arc Ether reward.
Okay, so
Still
that's
eludes me.
right here,
It's
Saint
very
Rose.
good.
Yeah, so close to it. I'm really close to it. I'm at 86.2 right now. But yeah, this is what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's excellent.
That's a
so
lot
good.
of AC in those stun reses or those reses.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's really nice. Good call out on that one, Joe.
Any other accessories?
Choker.
Maybe there were
+3 crit rate. It's older.
Sure.
Yeah, choker.
Yeah, sure.
Choker's really good if you're trying to get those extra 3 percent to crit rate. It's right here what I'm currently running right now. Yeah, we can. It ain't nothing crazy about it. Just a flat critical rate +3. That's all it is. Nothing too crazy. It's a 3-star.
We really need an alternate.
Yeah,
Like,
we do.
They need
we
to
need
give
an
us some
update.
more crit here. You know,
we do.
We need
We
some.
sure do. Hopefully, maybe Godforge will bless us this year with some some nice crit gear.
Dude, just let us Godforge Deadly Choker. Just
There
make
you
it
go.
better.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'm down. Let's do that.
definitely. Other than that, if you're having trouble surviving and you have the UR, Ring of Wisdom, I mean, it really just depends on what, I think we change this stuff out just depending on the fight as well. And he's really good, so it's rarely that we do change out anything in here. But, there's just a lot of different options for the unit itself. But currently, yeah, it's a good call outs on Jawline, but I keep it Black Diamond for me. But yeah, on arcs. For arcs that we use on Balin as well, the one I'm using currently is going to be Icy Guardian, year 1 arc. Super solid. I can find it because I'm blind.
Yeah, scroll down. It's the bright blue one.
Bright blue one.
Yeah, there you go.
With Celios.
Yeah, it's a really great arc. It's aged so well. What this one's gonna do is for physical attack, it's gonna give you an extra 40% to critical damage. We also have physical attack criticals that deal an extra ice attack, fire resistance +20, and ice resistance +20. So whenever he does a crit, he'll get an ice pursuit from it. So really, really cool. Extra attacks, really good.
Also worth noting, this is probably a pretty good choice for him in Arena if you are worried about the weakness stuff that Jaw was talking about, because like this puts him at +15 to fire, which means he's no longer getting weaked from for ice and fire. He's pretty much only vulnerable to earth at that point. So yeah, it's definitely pretty good. Plus the extra critical damage is really, really big in Arena. I'd say this is probably. Go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead. No, I was gonna say anything.
I was just gonna say, I think in general for DPS, this is probably the best general pool arc he can run. Probably in most cases, unless somebody has like an immense amount of ice resistance. But even if they have like 50, 60 ice res, this is still probably one of the better things that he could run.
Definitely.
Because that extra ice attack, I believe, what's the percentage on that? Isn't it like
50%?
Yeah, 50%. So
Huge.
let's say you're doing 50,000 damage. Now you get an extra hit of 25k. It does go through the ice resistance, right? But if they don't have any ice resistance, there you go. It's an extra hit essentially. Just a little bit weaker.
Definitely.
Yeah. And not only that, but his critical hits also have that insta-strike effect, which means they can get pushed up even further, which means like every one of those hits that goes extra high gets this extra pursuit hit as well. So it's should be pretty good. I think there's only one other arc that's really worth running other than this, and that would probably be Roland's Eldrav arc.
Eldrav arc, yeah. And this is just for the extra damage cap if you guys are looking for that. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you real quick.
But not nearly as many people will have access to it.
Like, exactly.
If you play the game for a year, odds are really high you're probably going to end up with Icy Guardian.
Definitely.
Not nearly as likely you'll end up with this one.
And overall,
depending on what you're fighting, depending on what you're fighting as well, like Icy Guardian's going to out damage this.
Yes,
like
100%.
if you're building crit, like if you can make something weak to ice, it's just far and away like the best DPS arc in the game. Like I don't think it's really that close if you can make things weak to ice, because then it just starts amping that damage even further, and yeah, gets a little out of hand.
Also, the status right here, this arc will give him a basic status ailment resistance +2 buff. So that's, yeah, so good. So there is benefits to using this one as well. I mean the special K cap, the special 6K cap is nice. But really just depends on what you're doing at the time.
Like if you like flashy, big numbers, okay, go ahead and use, Arc
Right.
being El Giovanna. But if you want to, deal more, like actual more damage, or then Icy Guardian is the pick there.
Yeah, because I know someone was saying, "Oh, you're not hitting a high cap use Eldritch." Well, I'm like, well, I'm actually doing more damage with Icy Guardian than I would with the 6K cap. So, just different ways you can look at it. And like I said, there is points in time where I do like the flashy high numbers, so I will switch between the two just to have fun, because that's all it's about, to having fun. So yeah, no, super solid if you want to use this arc as well. And the stats are gonna favor him down, down the middle there. You have, high STR, high defense, and then the M&D's at 353. Stock. So pretty wild. And then you get a flashy arc skill. So there's, like I said, there's some benefits of running this as well. But as far as other arcs, if you're running like a squad of crazy ailments like V or Melee, Melee Mare too could potentially do some damage as well. You could throw on Terramel 3 on Balin. If you want to see some big numbers, run this arc. Just there's a lot of different, and this one too favors a lot of his stats, STR, defense. Not really on the INT part. M&D is a little small, but still, there's a lot of different ways you can do this.
So it really just depends, if you're, if you're struggling to actually hit damage cap and, you're relying on crits, Icy Guardian will help you do more damage as well as reach that cap through crits, right? But all in all, I think I mean, I don't really use Icy Guardian, not because I don't think it's, great or anything. I just don't use it. I just use art that have damage cap just because of the big PP number, and that's about it.
Fair enough. Yeah, definitely. I do it too. Yeah, no, I think it's great.
Yeah. And depending on the unit, I'll usually just run something that makes my damage more consistent, especially if I just want to use some generic build or something. So like Swordsman's Tale is a pretty common one for me.
Definitely.
So like if I have any chance of not hitting my damage cap, I'll just throw on Swordsman's Tale, and then like odds are it probably solves my problem.
Right. And again, great on stats. Yeah.
if I wasn't so lazy and bad at mini games that I hate, I would probably use Game Master in place of this, because then it's unconditional, that 40%.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty solid one as well.
So yeah,
can do Bolt Bearers. Bolt Bearers.
Bolt Bearers is great. Yeah.
Yes, that one's got 2K. Again, like this is an SSR, and they gave 2K to single wield. Why do we get 1K on Bane's
I don't know.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's, obviously there's tons of options. Then there's also options that are like in the best category, right? But if you are a new player, or maybe you just don't have access to a lot of things, then just use what you can. If you're lacking damage to reach the damage cap, like Zero said, use original Balin's arc, Silver Gray Swordsman's Tale, and just work with what you got. It's not that hard to decipher what to use on a unit, right? So just see what you got to work with.
Definitely. Okay.
You guys want to go over to
Towers? Oh my god, let's get the tower. So yeah, that's gonna be covered for Balin. So hopefully this helped you guys out. If anybody's struggling on building the unit. Overall opinion for me, I think it's fantastic. I agree 100% with Zero. I think that it's gonna be a great starter unit. If you are, just getting to the game, I think you're gonna have a lot of fun. Even a side note from what Jawline said, starting a whole fresh new game, just having fun running through the story and see what you could do with Balin, it would be a lot of fun and fun to see. So I'm really interested if John, if you do pursue that, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Overall, yeah, go for it.
I'm curious to know overall where you think he sits in the scope of DPS units, because I've heard people saying he is tied. Like if we look at like the reworked like global tier list that there is currently, the only DPS units at the very tippy top is Shift Roland and Roy. Luke's up there, but he's like just barely below. I've heard in general that like Balin goes up right next to Roy and Roland. Like no
I
question.
agree
Oh,
100%.
You guys agree that
I
he's
agree
like new
100%.
pinnacle
Yes.
power creep?
I agree.
he's up there without a doubt. Definitely up there.
Yeah.
Do you think
Honestly,
he is chaseable? Like we always have this conversation of like, oh, you don't need to chase this unit. Like you don't really need to go after people. But like, do you
right.
think that he's that good that it's worth, or still just be like, nah, if you really need him, just like save up and pity him in 6 to 8 months?
It's interesting because I mean, so you're not gonna run Trishula on Balin on Roland. You know what I mean? He's light. Yeah, he can go through resistances. You know, on some occasions. Same thing with A2. You know, a lot of the single wielders light. I just it really is nice that we're getting a non-attribute single wield what Balin originally was, and they're giving us additional hits. In his traits, a lot of percentages. I think this is also another thing to think about is a question I get a lot is who's better, Roland or Balin, and you can't answer that question because Roland
Pretty different.
is it's very different. He is a support. He helps the team out. He makes sure the survivability is there. Where Balin, and me and Odium said agreed on this, is he's just kind of a selfish asshole. He supports himself. He goes in, he does what he needs to do, and gets out. So running Roland and Balin on the same squad is going to be highly beneficial because of his charisma. So if you have Roland, you love Roland, fuck yes, go for Balin. It's going to help you. It's going to benefit you. Like really, you have Roland and Balin, and then your support or whatever have you on on the other 2 slots, you're clearing shit. You're not going to have any issues. I took him into the new towers and he just demolishes shit. Really. And then survivability, you can put on Awaken, you can do like all types of shit, rings. I don't want to throw out the this From Zero arc because people get a lot of people didn't get that From Zero. But if you have From Zero, you'll lose that MP upon a revive on lethal damage, and then you'll get it all back in one swipe because of Goddess Kiss. I mean, he really just has it all.
Yeah.
So
speaking of that, for anybody that decides to like is either a new player starting or you're choosing to re-roll, maybe your account sucks or you're just re-rolling for funsies or whatever, and you're a fan of re-roll hell, the best arc to get for him, in my personal opinion, is March of the Saints. He doesn't care about the other meta stuff. Like you can get that other stuff later, but like getting Goddess Kiss secured for him is easily the most valuable thing if you're just looking to start a Balin account.
So ideally, I started referencing that to everybody. Whenever you're gonna be re-rolling, Goddess Kiss is now in that pool of top tier arcs to grab at battle start. Like you want to.
It's all contextual. Like who's your starting unit you're rolling for? That determines your best infinite, like your best general pool arc.
Exactly.
So
there you go, Johnny. Goddess Kiss, Balin. Start kill shit.
My 2 cents on if chase worthy or pull worthy. Pull, I mean, if you're going to just throw some multis just for the hell of it, it's definitely not a bad option to do it on Balin, just because if you happen to get Balin, amazing unit, he'll do you good. There's not going to be any like different in getting him. Oh, I got him, now I got a it's fine. Fuck him. Bench the other guy. You got Balin. But in terms of like pulling or like chasing him, I don't know. He's a very amazing unit, right? But I just don't. I don't see. It's not that I don't see. It's just that like I don't get this when I use him. I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is awesome. He's an amazing. But maybe it's just because of, again, it's my account, like my case or whatever. I wouldn't have chased him probably. I mean, I would have thrown like the multis that I had at him, but I probably wouldn't have chased him. I think it's very like, I guess, situational on whose account like needs him or would benefit him greatly. But if you decide to go for him, it's not a bad thing because he's an amazing unit. Chase worthy, I don't know. I'm not saying he's not, but I just not found it. I have not found the reason, like the conclusive reason to chase him.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That's fair.
There is one thing though, just before we move on from him, that you found, Jaw, that I thought was really cool, which is apparently he can be set up to full auto Heart of the Temple, which is the XP farm that basically Maja does.
Oh, yeah. I can
We're
share
gonna
my
demonstrate.
screen.
Yep. Should I share a screen, Jawline? We'll go ahead and demonstrate that real quick.
I actually had him set up
Let me see
real
if I can pull up.
quick.
Let me change some stuff
Not
in
many units
OBS.
can do this, and he's the only physical DPS that I'm aware of that can do it efficiently.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. I think I got everything. All right. Let me share my screen.
All right, Jawline.
All right. Can you see it?
Yes. Let me see.
Okay. You all good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
I
good.
was just waiting.
Yeah,
You
you're
said you were
good.
gonna check something. Okay. So the arc here, Aldana Coliseum, SR arc, everyone should have this. Battle start grants flinch resist for a certain time. So this is, I believe this is 15 seconds of flinch resist. It goes up to, I believe, 30 once you, like, if you use it at level 10.
I think it's
it ends.
40 actually.
Oh, it's 40.
I
Okay.
believe so. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, this is for the flinch resist, right? So he doesn't get knocked out of his skills. And then I have phone booth. If you don't know what phone booth does, it gives 30% or 30 SET to all skills at the start of the fight. And then Balin is just so good that he can just auto it. I'm just gonna let it run a couple times and.
Cool. So you were right. It is a 30-second buff. So just
Okay.
to clarify that. So I didn't realize you were using phone booth on this. For some reason in the clip that I saw, I thought that he was casting Silent Contemplation and like getting the charges to like be able to do stuff like that with skill charge 3. He's not doing it.
What is going on?
Fail.
Game.
Yeah. No, never mind, Jaw.
No, there it is.
Scrub.
Damn
There
cash.
it is.
Damn casual, bro.
I'm curious what this time still comes out to though. Oh wow, look at this full auto. He's not even using S1s.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, like this isn't just an arena problem.
Dude, he's senile.
Right,
He's old.
right.
Leave him alone. I mean, it's still really
Literally
good
unplayable.
though. Like, yeah.
Literally unplayable, bad unit.
Let me see what
I think it's a
messed up
person that's
here.
building him though. Let's not beat around the bush here.
Probably.
It's fair.
I don't think I messed up anything. I mean, he's got shit, right? He's got phone booth.
He's got stuff and things.
He's got stuff. Skill charge 3. Yeah, there's nothing that should have messed with his like skill stocks or anything.
Mhm.
We'll give it one more try.
But still, I mean, he's clearing it. This is really awesome.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's like
you know what, Jaw? Sometimes
like 15-second clear is still better than most mages.
Sometimes the first time you launch auto, it doesn't do what you want, but then the second time it kind of like resets itself. So let it
apparently not. Look at
no,
this.
No, like let it run
understand.
again after.
Oh,
like let it rewind and like set up. Oh my god, what are you doing?
What a showcase! So good.
He's off he's clearly off his meds right now.
What's his time coming at though? Even with how slow that was.
Still
I mean,
great.
Was probably still pretty good.
Yeah.
Even when they're not working properly.
16 seconds. You know what? Let's mess with something. Let me just give him tons of SDR. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the AI is like, hey, we don't have enough. I mean, that could be the case.
Yeah.
I guess. Usually not so much, but
third time's a charm.
Could be.
Jawline, did you get melee?
Melee, no.
Okay. All right, here, S3 right out the bat.
There it is. So not enough SDR. Okay.
Interesting.
There it was. Yeah.
There you go.
So maybe you could do like half SDR, half MND. It should.
So normally Maja clears in 10 to 11 seconds. Like an ideal Maja clear. That's what we're looking at.
Right.
Let's see what Balin did. Granted, you had to use phone booth, which means, well, crash.
6 seconds.
Not bad.
But for people with phone booth, though, better than Maja. Look at
that. So I let him auto level himself all the way to 1. I was like, yeah, he can.
What's the XP return on this level?
With EXP 2 is 17k.
17k. Every
Yeah.
6
So he
seconds.
was
That's good. Yeah.
yeah, he was definitely able to auto level.
S3 right off the bat. There you go. Yeah, it's a STR. Very nice. That might have been a little
What you get for
faster.
using basic stat ups on your mind.
Imagine that basic stat-ups make a huge difference.
Yeah, Balin's gonna want an apology after this podcast for what you said earlier.
But yeah, pretty neat. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, solid character.
Cool.
6 seconds. Nice.
All right. So back to I think we were talking about tower before we squirreled.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, it was worth it. It was worth it. Let's
So we got new floors. We got a UR arc.
got new floors.
Yeah. Love it.
So we'll start with you, Zero. How was your experience with towers?
I was really slow on it because I had a lot of work this week. So
Right.
sitting up at like 98 right now, and I haven't even run it. So
Oh, okay. So you haven't finished it
or
yet.
something like that. I think maybe actually maybe I'm only on like 95. I need to go check. I don't know what I'm at, but somewhere between 95 and 98.
Okay, okay. Jolene, I think you finished it, correct?
Yeah, I
You
finished
finished
tower.
it? Yeah, so I had a crazy work week too, so I didn't even get to do it until this weekend. It took me about 5 hours to get from 71 to 100. About 5 hours of me struggling.
I don't know how long you guys want to, keep this going, but maybe you want to just go into the arc.
Oh,
Or if
yeah,
you
definitely.
Totally. Let's pull that up. That's interesting. There's some super hot fire on that arc.
I did pull the sword out immediately though, right out of his chest. Yeah, so I have
Not even level 10.
Bro, red, seriously? I use every red I had. I have 400k.
Unbelievable.
That's I can do at that point. Oh man. So yeah, mine's not fully maxed out. It's great. I mean, the art is amazing. We were always talking about when we were gonna get something like this. And then, of course, we didn't know what the AER was until we saw this bad boy. It's a sword in his chest, so really cool. For arc trait, this one is if unit is the only one in battle, damage plus 41%, damage taken minus 17%. Really good. I like it. I like that. Battle start.
It becomes plus 50 and minus 20.
Oh, nice. Oh, see.
We'll just
yes.
call that out.
Yeah, exactly. Battle start, give a buff that nullifies a basic stat element up to 2 times. Permanent effect.
This goes up to 3 times
Oh,
at level 10.
Nice. When no armor or weapons are equipped, physical attack damage is 3k. Does that go up any higher?
Yeah, it goes up to 5.
5? Very nice. Okay. So, I mean, I really just saw only Luxeus using this. I don't really see anybody else.
I
If
mean,
you're using the damage, if you're doing it for the damage cap,
So
I mean,
here's my hope. My
okay.
hope is that the new line of summer units is all nude beach themed, and they're all going to benefit from this. It's going to be great.
You would.
I mean, I can see that. I can see that. I hope so.
I mean, I don't think it's out of reason. I don't think it's unreasonable though that like the next logical step of like DPS progression is like, hey, they made it so that single wielders can do things now. Great.
Right.
So like them eventually having like a monk unit that's like not using claws for some reason, like Leona, but like actually has like they're not using a weapon, so it's like just their fists or whatever, and they're like just naked. They could potentially use this,
What would the skill be called? Like, you know how he has like the no armor skill on his board?
Lethal in a loincloth.
Oh my
loincloth. His paid gear is an accessory that is a loin.
Yeah. Yep.
You would, man. I'm telling you. You would.
Like the traits, I don't know. The traits on this arc. Okay, so the first one, if unit is the only one in battle, damage plus 50% and damage taken minus 20%. I guess for those people that were like in maze and only used a unit just to clear, I guess this would be usable there.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that particular situation, this is pretty much something that you probably won't ever use, like or make use of.
It's a collector's item.
Like, why would you only use one unit, right?
A showcase, maybe, I don't know, but I mean,
it would have been
so.
It would have been much better if that condition would have just also been attached to the no armor, no weapons.
Right.
Because like then you could throw that on Luke and get a minus 20% damage in arena, and plus 50% damage. Like that's pretty good. But yeah.
I don't like it. Like it's cool, I guess maybe a cool idea that they were like trying to think up, but in
Yeah.
practicality, it's not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get it for the arc really. I mean, I got it for the weapon for Maze. Like just more weapons for Maze in my eyes. So we'll get to that here in a second. Yeah, but anything you want to say on the Zero?
Just like it was pointed out, I think the main value if you're going to be equipping it is basically just for Maze to just help a unit solo a floor.
Right,
That's,
exactly.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. As far as a unit skill or the skills on the arc itself, you know, Pride, generic, we have it on several other arcs. Dark Drive is new, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. Dark, physical, and special. 10% for SC. Very, very good. You just got the. I don't think this one is on the new Joker. I don't think he has Dark Drive. So if you got
Yeah, I think
Joker,
you're right.
yeah. So you know, a nice little buff for him. Does have fast Shadow Wall. Nice. Awaken again. Had it for a while.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hold on.
Hold
So
up.
Fast Shadow Wall didn't exist before.
It didn't.
We're
No.
gonna make that clear.
Oh,
and
okay.
like depending on the meta in arena, that matters.
Right.
This is very. I've been waiting for this skill for such a long
Really,
time.
we didn't have it.
No, the only thing that we had that was close to
Oh,
this
I'm thinking of Shadow Wall.
was the gear that we got, I believe, from the Grog came out, right? It's some armor that gives fast Shadow Wall, but now we have fast Shadow Wall, so this is great.
Yeah.
Very good use in arena. I like this a lot. I've been waiting for this.
Good. Okay. So yeah, great. Awaken. We see it on a lot of things. Divine Right skill. Now this is something that's been talked about for a couple days already. Good or bad?
Yes.
I think it could.
It's not a question mark. This is not a question mark moment. It's not. Sorry.
I think it could. I think it's actually pretty cool. There's a lot of different things you can do with this. Skills can't be used for 30 seconds, but skill damage plus 30%. I mean, honestly, if I can't use a skill for 30 seconds, I don't give a shit. If I'm getting plus 30% on skill damage, that's awesome. 7 SC is actually really good too. I know you guys had some like little methods you guys were trying to do with it.
Yeah, like it's nothing. It's basically things that we were already doing.
Right.
I'm not going to use this on my DPS units. There's no way in hell. I'm not going to wait 30 seconds to do damage.
Right.
Unless I already know the fight's going to be like a 20-minute fight or something.
Yeah.
Then sure.
Yeah.
I guess that's pretty efficient. But the reason this is good is it lets you achieve something that was previously locked to a single accessory, which is Elder Mask.
Yeah, Elder Mask. You can't use any skills.
Elder Mask gives you a bunch of elemental resistance, a bunch of int, cool, but then also just doesn't let you use skills.
Right.
Reason that's good is that it means that especially your support units, or if you have units in a particular role, it forces them to use auto attacks. Like they just can't use skills, so you're auto attacking all the time. And for certain strategies, you want things to be auto attacking constantly, and if they have skills to use, they'll probably just use it, and then not be efficient on what you want them to do. The places this matters is SET batteries. So people that want to be constantly spamming regular attacks so that they can get Goddess Kiss procs, so that they can use Honey Elixir, WAP, Glass Record, whatever. You don't want them going off and using skills because that's downtime on more regular attacks. Ailment enablers. So if you're using like Master Thief Robin or DXR or like literally anybody else that wants to be applying ailments, V. Like these people that have all their research skills, you have gear that's based on regular attacks. This will force them to actually go and use the regular attacks for at least the first 30 seconds. Insta-kill as well, like you can run Death God and things like that. Like you can force all these units into using the regular attacks, which is super duper powerful. And Jawline actually did some testing and pointed out something really cool that I didn't expect, which is for that first 30 seconds, your units also don't gain SET, which means it further delays how long before they get enough skill stocks to actually have their AI start doing stuff. So like you get the effect technically longer than 30 seconds, which is really cool. And so like, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so a lot of people probably like, immediately saw this and was like, oh, I can't, 30% skill damage, but I can't use my skills for 30 seconds.
Right.
It's crap. Like, it can't be good. But as Zero was saying, with like just to go a little bit into detail on that topic, he was saying about how you can make you can make anybody that you want to a like Honey Elixir battery, and what that means is, for people that maybe are new or don't know, is you have a unit that is like really strong with their regular attacks, and they're able to have high returns on Goddess Kiss because you get a percentage of MP back based on the damage that you do from your regular attacks. So this forces anybody that you want to be a honey elixir battery. And not only that, but Zero said this also can make someone, if you want them to apply, ailments, then they are forced to be an ailment spammer. Some are better than others for those 30 seconds. And I think a good explanation or a good situation of where this comes into play is Maze, where those like Death God floors were apparent, right? And you had units that you gave death, and you had them running around, right? And they would do that for a period of time. But then once they started to accumulate skill stocks, then they ended up, being, a detriment to your team because they would just toss around units, and you wouldn't be able to regular attack to be able to apply um, Death God. And also, as Zero was saying, this skill, it prevents you from gaining SET naturally, so like over time. But you can also gain skills or gain SET from Pose of Glory, Glass Record, Honey Elixir. You can still gain SET that way, but naturally you won't regen anything. And as Zero was saying, for the first 30 seconds, you don't regenerate any SET. And then once those 30 seconds are up, then they start generating, and then they slowly start to work their way up towards stocks. So this is actually longer than 30 seconds because it prolongs that process.
Right.
So this skill in the right situation is very powerful because not only are they forced to be, whatever you want them to be, but if they also happen to be a DPS, then after those 30 seconds, then they get 30% more skill damage. So unlike the Elder King mask, where it just like locks you into that role and you can't do nothing, that's it. Maybe you will use that, right, on a certain unit where you want them to do nothing but that. That's cool. But a DPS will also benefit from this after the 30 seconds. So this, I think, in my eyes, this is a very great skill, and when used in the proper situation, it's amazing. It definitely has its uses. Maybe not right now, but when Maze comes around and we happen to have those floors, 100% I will use this skill.
An example that I'd call out, which like maybe isn't applicable to everybody, but just to show something, is like the Kraken fight. Like Gen's obviously a powerhouse of a unit for it. So in this case, like he's really good because his physical attacks can flip enemy buffs into debuffs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're running Elder Mask, which is somewhat likely, probably unless you're going to puppy guard him, you're probably just using regular attacks, which just has like a 3 or 4 hit count, I think. But if you're doing this, he could be an SET battery right out the gate for the first 30 seconds. And then when you get to that like 50% phase, he could be unlocked. And then when you need to flip, you could use his high hit count skills in order to flip easier than using his regular attacks. So like just one of those cases where like Elder Mask doesn't let you do that if you happen to be using that for that. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Very good
Tweaks
skill.
called out as well. If you had the extra XC for it, and you wanted to push that type of tactic even further, you can also stack skill boost 1, 2, and 3 on there, because that's an extra minus 30% to your natural SET recharge once that does kick in again.
And if you wanted to go even further, there was a weapon that came Vaughn, where it gives here it is. It gives 10% skill damage at the cost of minus 15% ACT speed. So could get
Nice.
up to 45% if you really wanted to push it that far. So yeah, back to the skill. It's a great skill when used in the right situation. I know a lot of people saw it and were like, "Oh my god, this sucks" or whatever. But just know that it has its uses, and when it does come to play, it's gonna be very strong to use.
Right.
Yeah. And God forbid we ever see it again, but it's also going to be useful if we ever end up again with an AI only time trials. This is going to be a useful tool almost certainly
I'm
to
sure we'll
run
see
on
it
somebody.
again.
Anything that
hope we
lets you
don't.
manipulate the AI is so good, but I agree. I'm not a huge fan of that time trial, but you know, it was a fun experiment.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so and the last skill here is Luxia's Revelation. Not a fan of it. I'm gonna be real with you, I don't like it.
It costs too much.
Way too much.
I don't know why they do this. They did this for Luxia's like protection or whatever as well.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna use it then. I'm not gonna do it now. Like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Real quick, Devin Lane in chat asked, "Does Revelation stack with special boost?" Yes, it does. This isn't like it's just damage, right? Just like sword high boost, sword boost. It's just damage.
So Devin, your question might be because of the weird wording. Special boost and like slayer damage, all that stuff is anti-damage. Non-god isn't the same as like anti-god. So if that's like if that's the connection that you were making, totally detached. This is the same thing as just like adding Terra Melt, Sky High, Sword Boost, like all the stuff that just boosts damage. That's what it is.
All about the wording.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is about the wording. Yeah.
I'm curious, like, why they have such low numbers for high cost on those things. I can only assume like maybe it sits outside of like the normal damage formula, so maybe it like translates to slightly more. But even so, like it's so sad looking. like why? Like why you do this to me?
Yeah, no, I was really
So
bummed out when
bad.
I saw the Revelation. I was like, I just don't get it. Like there could have been something really fucking cool there, and that's what we got on that slot.
And Awaken too. Like
it was like a blue. It was like getting a blue on the pull on a gacha pull. Like, you serious?
Yeah, and Awaken, another arc.
Yeah,
that has Awaken.
And Pride. Like, why Pride? Could we gotten like Pride?
I mean, it's a low level skill. So
I know,
like,
but something else.
Whatever,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's basically wasted. But
so
I mean,
yeah.
Still, we're looking at 4 unique skills that we didn't have access to before. 3 of which are actually good.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's better than the LR we got from Tower.
Yeah.
Like the Phantom Tower arc. Basically, the only good use it has is HP +2, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'll play that. I mess around with the tower key. I play the tower key. Whatever.
Okay, cool. Take your 1% extra damage.
I will take it. I will take a nap with it.
The thing that I'm most excited about on this one is the Fast Shadow Wall.
Fast Shadow Wall.
Just because of Arena and Rollins and all that jazz. So
right.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Move on to the Arc Ether
reward. So the sword is finally out. We have God Fetter. So this is awesome. I love it. It's another light sword. I know people are like, oh man, another light sword. I'm like, wait, why not? SCR plus 300, INT plus 150. Chance for regular attacks to give enemy physical damage minus 20 debuff. Physical damage attack plus 10% and to God enemies. So what are you gonna say?
I'll be honest, I hate this sword.
You don't like it? I love the way it looks, man.
Dude, okay, so I need to look at like we've got so many light swords in this game.
Oh, we do.
This is one of the worst light swords compared to all the other light swords we have. Like the damage bonus on it is conditional.
Right.
Like 300 strength is just kind of fine.
Oh yeah.
It's good, but like just fine. Like if you're gonna throw something like a big light sword on a DPS unit, you're not gonna be regular attacking super often. Like you're not gonna go in regular attack to get like that physical damage debuff. Like that could have just been all physical attacks have that chance at the like because I assume it's the same thing as weapon break, like that Baran has and I think Crow has and A2. I assume that's the same debuff, but this is only on regular attack. So it gives that like corrosive fang type effect where your regular attacks can now inflict a debuff, but it's the damage one. Right?
Yeah.
Am I reading that right? Like it reduces the damage they deal, correct?
I actually don't even have this one, so I have no input. Yeah.
All right. So it's either that or it literally gives you corrosive fang that's stackable with it. But I assume that it basically is the weapon break, except that's normally on physical damage. So like that's not a huge effect. And the physical attack damage could just be a flat bonus. But like it's only 10% and it's conditional.
Yeah, it's a God type only.
This is a maze weapon. Like
that's exactly. That's exactly why I got it.
I used all my other good light swords on my other units. I guess I have this one that's not complete ass. And that's like that's
And this is
it's not a UR.
No. Hell no. But it could be Godforge. If they do it if they throw this in Godforge, it potentially could be really good.
You're probably right, actually. It's gonna be much better after it gets Godforged. It almost certainly will get a Godforge
Yeah,
at
because
some
honestly, if you
point.
compare, let me see, the sword that's in his chest, is that, I mean, it looks a little brighter. I don't know. It could be not the full sword.
I don't know.
But this
So,
physical attack damage plus 10% to God types, it's conditional and it's not a lot. And one sword that we have that is pretty much the same thing, or not, maybe not everyone has it, but if you were around when, the first Secret of Mana collab came out, or like
yeah.
the reruns, we have the Mana Sword, which is physical
Oh,
attack
so
plus
good. Yes.
30% damage
Mm-hmm.
against God type
Yeah.
boss or boss monsters, right? So
Mhm.
it's conditioned to god boss monsters, but at least it's 30%.
30%, yeah. Also, if you read the details, it says it's a replica of the sword said to have pierced it. So that
Mm.
tells you that it's most likely not the one in his chest, and it could be assumably ready for Godforge later
Oh
on.
yeah, so the Godforge will turn it into the real one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're
So
gonna take the replica and we're gonna infuse it with some soul that
yeah,
turns it into
maybe
the
Half Annie
actual.
has an event where we get the real one and we Godforge it. I mean, who knows?
There you
They,
go.
they might have something in store for us. Who knows?
I'm
But
sure they do.
still, yeah. So really, really cool. It's a collector item. Great. It was fun to get. I had fun going for it. I just going through towers. My experience. I struggled on 95 the most, in my opinion. Just kind of forgot how that thing worked and just had to kind of relearn it again. I know a lot of people struggle with 92. I barely I almost beat 92 in one shot, but I messed up and forgot to equip the skill, so I screwed myself over.
I I
Yeah.
lucked out and I went in blind. My team comp, I happened to already be running V.
Hmm.
V just doesn't let them fight back.
Right.
I've heard afterwards that like bosses just one shot you.
Hmm.
I never got one shot. Nobody ever slapped me. They were just stunned the entire fight basically,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I
except for like
imagine.
I think there was like 30 seconds to a minute at the end where like the boss happened to become undone, and then I was like perma froze for a little while, and I was like,
Right.
oh shit, this sucks, and then I just got stunned back on and just went through the rest of the fight.
Right. V is very good in these updated towers,
Yeah,
and
it was
Lightning
pretty good.
Gauge, Lightning
Yeah.
Gauge and V. Yeah, it was kind of a must.
So
But
Yeah,
I'm
so
on. Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say this arc for the floors that they added and what we had through, it just feels like the original tower arc that we had. Like it's all right. Like
yeah,
it has its H, like for instance the first one had HP plus 2. Cool. We
yeah,
only ever used it for that. This one I'll probably only ever use it for Fast Shadow Wall that one time. Divine Rights probably on a few units, but as far as using this arc,
no,
nah.
no,
I don't, at least not right now. I don't see.
right,
Yeah, but the fact that we get access to at least like, a bunch of skills we didn't have access to, it's obvious. I mean, it's significantly higher value than
Oh
what
yeah,
Phantom Tower ever
right,
was,
right,
definitely,
right.
obviously. So I think that's good. And in general, I'm never going to complain about getting tangible rewards for completing permanent endgame content.
exactly. That's the way I'm looking
Like
at it.
getting Zlorg as a unit, getting the original Phantom Tower. Like even though Phantom Tower wasn't good, I was like, hey, I beat a thing and was rewarded with a permanent thing that
Yeah,
enhances my account. Like
yeah.
that's great. I love that shit. So
And
do
I wonder if whenever we Towers comes around again, we get a dupe. It's gonna go towards the extending. So
It
it will.
will.
that's
Yeah,
It,
something to
it
look forward to too.
100%.
yeah, it'll go.
Yeah.
I don't see why it wouldn't be in
Where
an
you are,
extend.
dust. For the
Yeah, except
damn
there's
art.
no arc skill on it,
Yeah, there's
so
no arc
like,
skill. I'll take
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
And the stats aren't really that great from even that
yeah,
standpoint. But it
I mean
yeah.
the stats aren't too bad. At level
um,
10, you get 30 81 HP, 52 MP, 341 STR, 156 defense, 158 mind, and then 338 int. So the stats aren't too bad.
right.
They're decent. They're nice. But yeah.
Will you do
So
the 100 again after completing it the first time? I know some people said they'll never do it again for a second round, even just to get the
Um
extension. And so I just wanted to see if you guys would. I am. I had a lot of fun doing it. So no, definitely again for me.
um
I probably I don't know. I might do it, not for the like dupe, just because by that time I would have taught all the units that I want the skills.
Right.
yeah.
But Yeah, I don't know. If I do it, cool. If I don't do it, I don't really care.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
But yeah.
okay.
Oh man, we got the troll in the chat. Look at
What happened?
Oh God.
Oh.
Oh
Oh
man.
no.
Anyway, let's not even bother getting into it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it's too late for that.
do,
Yeah.
do we want to talk? Do we want to talk about some of these actual tower floors?
It's up to you guys, really.
I mean, I know the things that were generally called out.
95. Here we go. Final Harps is asking any tips for 95.
Okay.
Yeah, 95. So my understanding, I have run it once. I did go back and check. I am on 95. I got basically to the end and then got wiped because I just wasn't ready for whatever the final damage phase is. So it's basically the same fight as we have on, what is it, like 20 and 50 or
Yeah.
75? 75?
Yeah.
75? Yeah. So where switches between like, oh, you need to use magic, and then you need to use physical. And then I think it usually goes back to one of them or something.
And then he gets like incredibly super armor towards like the last. I think it's 2.7 million. He gets an insane
so
armor
like
buff.
that lasts like what, 20 to 30%. I don't know what damage you're supposed to use on him. Do you just have to break him?
Break him. Yeah, I broke him on the. I broke him at 26, 2.6 mil. Broke him and then finished him off.
Okay, cool. So there isn't a damage type that you can use. You basically have to use a breaker there.
I use Luxeus.
Okay,
yeah,
so is that the thing though? Like, does
I mean,
anybody
as
know
long
if
as
there's
you
anything
break
else?
them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So just break them for the last little bit.
I would have
Okay,
brought
cool.
Murn if I had him. I didn't have him built yet, so.
Yeah, I did have him.
I believe, if I remember right, it goes magic,
Mm-hmm.
physical.
No, wait. No, it's physical first. You can do physical.
Physical.
You can do a little bit. You can do both. Because you can hit him for a little bit of physical, and then around like after a couple of good hits in, and you start getting him down, it go to 1, and that's when you use magic. Because
I'm pretty sure it's magic, physical, and then like whatever.
Hold on, let's just test the mission. Throw it up there real quick. I'll just do damage at the beginning. That's all I'll do.
Yeah, I think physical works at the beginning.
It does, because I know V was hitting for like 3K when I was trying to like insta break him, but it wasn't working.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I think it's probably like 10-15% in.
It's super marginal.
And then it goes back to
very, very small window for the physical. It like messes with you. So let's see. Yeah, see. Yeah, she's right there. Physical.
Okay. Nice. Alright, so you can do both. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, of course we're not probably gonna do anything here, but we're gonna see. All right, here it's starting. Should be starting in a second. There is 1. All right, let's just do this. Let's just do this. We can just get rid of this freaking stupid cap window. Yeah. Oops, my character.
Okay, so now
it should be. There we go. Now it's magic.
Now it's magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So magic, physical, the first 5 million, and then 25 goes to magic, and then what's the last one? Is it 30% of his HP that he becomes like super buffed?
2.7 million is when it starts. It's remaining. So I think it's
so like... Tweaks put some stuff in here. He said 25 to 15 mil fizz doesn't work. 15 mil to 0 magic doesn't work. So in that like bottom threshold.
Right. So I didn't have Maja, so I used to use Angela. It's a slower process for me.
There you go. So a simplified version, you know, the 30 to 25 mil physical magic, 25 to 15 use magic, and then the remainder, if you can break him just to help you push through that like defensive buff that he gets, try to break him, and then that'll definitely help. Or you can use specials, which also can help. But it's a really, you know, it's straightforward. It's a little bit harder, but it's pretty straightforward what you have to do.
Yeah, and the reductions don't disappear either. I've spent just to see if they would disappear. They don't, unless you break, and that's when you do like your final swipe. But Yeah, it took me about 4 tries to just kind of go through the process, and that's really the best way to do it. Is just kind of go through the process once, watch what's happening, and then next process, go ahead and build your breaker. Go in there, see what works for you, what mages you have, bring in the highest damage dealer, because he doesn't really hit that hard throughout the process of this fight, but towards the end is when he gets pretty nasty. So that's where you have to be careful. And that's why you want to break him at that 2.6 mil so that doesn't happen. I'm gonna go ahead and clean him up. But yeah, it was a really fun fight. I had a lot of fun doing it.
If anybody doesn't have a breaker, you're lying. Everybody has gobble. So
just I swear to God,
if you are literally everybody has gobble.
If you don't have a breaker, yes, you do. You have gobble.
Yep, absolutely.
You don't have Murn? Okay, all right, fine. You have gobble. He's still a really good breaker.
Yep. He doesn't do big PP damage like Murn does.
And you don't need to, though.
He does really good break.
Yeah.
No, but for the sake of breaking, you can count on gobble.
Yeah, he's super duper good. So I have also heard the other pain point, in addition to 92, 95, 99 also tends to cause people problems. I don't know much of anything about it other than I was told that it's flinch central and complete hell. I don't know anything else about it though.
Oh,
so I don't really know.
It's basically the same fight that we got in the anniversary, the Lords. Right?
Oh, it's just the Lords?
Yeah, it's just a Lord fight.
I'm going. Yeah, it's just the
they are very heavy on the non flinch, but I mean it is just a Lord fight.
I mean, can you just do what you did for the Lord fight, like just group them and like lightning gauge them and
like just keep them grouped? Bala doesn't have flinch, I don't think. So she kind of that was the problem I was having.
Have to deal with her.
Yeah, I actually didn't use lightning gauge method on that one. I think
can you gobble kill them?
Yes.
Yeah, I think someone said that you can use gobble.
Floor. Just use gobble again.
I wanted to do it without using gobble though. That was people in my chat were like, use gobble. I was like, no, I'm not using it. I'm not using them. I did S. Alice, Roland, and
just use gobble, guys. If you really are that struggling with the floor,
just use gobble.
Use gobble.
Yeah.
Dual wield them. Hope his little insta kill lands. If it doesn't, retry until it does.
Two of the 3 hardest new tower floors, gobble helps to answer hard.
Gobble's for cheaters. Oh boy.
Or use ailments, DXR. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Oh man, so fun, such good stuff.
Oh man, right. Gobble. It really is that simple.
And if you're having trouble getting them together, use lightning gauge. I don't know, group them together.
If you have a unit with black hole, black hole into lightning gauge, even better. Like run
lightning gauge. Yep.
Yeah. Really, really good. You can use Shift Golroth's ult. You can get that charging to group people as well. It might not be as fast, but
these are simple things, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's often overlooked, right? Like everyone's, oh my god, I got to do this. I got to do this certain strat. No, just try the simple things, right? Group them together, lightning gauge, black hole, and then if you still can't go through that, okay, maybe you do need a specific strat, but just try the simple things.
Yeah, lightning gauge is definitely one of the biggest ones. Lightning gauge will definitely keep them all grouped up together for you, nice and tight. Let me see. Other than that, the only one that it took time was 95. I did 99 pretty quickly. I don't think I struggled outside of that. Yeah, 95 was just a pain in the ass. Nice. I did get insta-killed a couple times on 92. But once you basically stun the bitch and lightning gauge him and it's over. Let me see. Other than that, it was pretty straightforward. Pablo's an asshole. Let's go. He hits harder than he does in the Godforge in the Green Gate. Yeah, he was kind of a little bit of an asshole. I noticed also, because something happened in my game right now, I'm not able to move my units around. So that's another big problem that I had with towers this time around, is that I'm not able to position my units because for some crazy reason my game on Steam is broken. I've tried uninstalling refresh. What is it? Clearing the cache. I mean, everything you could possibly think of as far as this game itself. And I still right now cannot move a unit. So the fucking Pablo wasn't so super annoying for me. But other than that, pretty chill. And then I love 400. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't done it yet, but 400 is a lot of fun. If you already beat the game, then you know what it is. But yeah, that was fun.
But yeah, I don't know if anyone. I mean, like those were the biggest floors, right? What was it, 92, 5, and then 99. But again, just try the simple stuff on 99. Lightning Gauge, Black Hole, Berserker, or not Berserker, Gobble, insta kill. Is it a cheese way? Sure, it's in the game though. Use it.
Yeah. Oh man, Gobble. Yeah. Don't be scared to use the Gobble. He's so good. But anything else as far as towers, the event really good. This dam is so good. This accessory, I like it a lot. Auto cast Brave and crit, really good. Resistance and curse. Crazy how high it's how expensive it is. Weapon, if you're looking for a non-attribute weapon, great. Physical attack plus 8%, 151 on SCR, great. They did give us a prism, which I already snagged. Materials are also really good. You're looking for clusters. It's only 1 per mega, but they did release the quality update for all the gates and stuff like that, and really nice. But overall, yeah, really good stuff in this event. Also, just a heads up as well, if you guys, this is your first time in the game, AER, the extra challenges, this is going to help you with your AER gain to help you get those things completed. All you got to do is just Beast Hunter, the last stage on the training daily discipline. Get your tickets, go into here, take the RQ1 AER, get it up to what you need to get to, and yeah, grab the accessory.
So aside from the event, can we talk real quick?
Yeah.
The cost on these gates.
Oh yeah,
now
one.
Oh, it's so good.
Not only that,
it's so good.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they added the
Rainbow.
special. Well, the rainbow, yeah.
Yeah.
The special skill study dungeon, special training gate. I mean, they're limited entry.
Yeah.
But they added them, and then on the skill study dungeon, the one that's like been here, the god one went from 8 AP to 26. That's crazy, dude.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that when I ran the lowest difficulty one, it was still like 20.
Yeah.
So like even for new players, it's so good.
Yeah. It's nasty.
Like even like if you can't do the highest difficulty, it's still really, really good.
Did you guys try the Zellgate yet?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty decent.
It's good.
So like if people need it,
yeah.
Like basically one orb gives you like 75 to 100k plus, depending on if you use the farm unit.
Yes.
Which like people used to spend orbs to go run the Zugless Mega Boss fight and use Beast Hunter just to get a 1k like bar consistently. So like if that's the rate, like using an orb for that, if you just really need some Zell really quick, it's actually worth doing now, kinda. It's not crazy, but like it's pretty decent.
There is a drawback with this quality of life. The gates being one orb is only for this week, but it's cool nevertheless. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the existence of Rainbow Gate is so incredibly good.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a source. We didn't have a source of it before. I do think something that they should change though is these gates are only set up basically on the weekdays for the most part. I think on the weekend, just like mega bosses, they should all be opened.
Right.
Yeah.
Personally.
I can agree with that.
I think that would be great. But I mean, I was really hard up for rainbows. I got like Joker at the last minute of the collab, and yeah, he was just sitting on like probably 20 skills that I couldn't get because he just needed so many rainbows, and I was like, I'm poor. I can't do anything. I've cleared out all my shops. I have literally no way to get rainbows at this point. It's terrible. And I ran a rainbow gate the other day, and I think my main drop screen ended up with like 6 rainbow clusters, and I was like, oh my god. Amazing. Let's just do this all day.
Right.
So
Yeah. It's pretty
yeah,
great.
it's
But
wonderful, and the boss fight's pretty cool too. I've seen some people complain that it's like too hard, um, but I don't think so. Like it's moderately annoying. Basically, you get this
Yeah, it's a little
you
annoying.
get this slime, you get this big slime that comes in. It's got some damage reduction on it. So it's slightly harder to do damage to, not
Right.
that bad. Teleports around a bit, has some immunity frames as it's teleporting. And then it has some time stop stuff that's a little bit annoying, does some ailment stuff, targeting some of your units. Overall, not that bad though. It will try to spam Galaxy decently. So, like, if you're using a mage, you can probably only cast like every other cast space.
Right.
Seems like it generally does a Galaxy in between each of your spells.
Right.
But yeah, in general, it's pretty good. I mentioned before, I really enjoy running Crow in that because as soon as the Galaxy starts, I can just spam his abilities because I'll get flinched and get to throw another one, and then get flinched and get to throw another one, and then get flinched and
yeah.
get to throw another one. And
Yeah,
like
make
it
use of
helps
that
my
flinch.
DPS. It's so good.
Yeah.
They also
But
increased the rainbow drops too. I mean, I would spend whenever Gate would come around on Fridays, I would spend a good chunk just to try and grab clusters, and I would have no luck. Now you can get multiple clusters and mega clusters out of it. So yeah, I love Rainbow Gate now. Make sure anytime that's available, definitely try to get it out of the way. Try to get as many as you can. Super good.
But yeah, I think that's about it for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
update, right?
yeah. It's a great update. Great stuff. Make sure you guys take advantage of all the skill studies. If you grab Balin or if you're trying to build any of your units, all this stuff is the stuff you want to be doing as of right now, especially doing the gates too that only cost one. So other than that, yeah, it covers everything for this DOH unit.
I know I'm making use of the skill study dungeon. I'm making
Yeah.
everyone a competent honey elixir battery, competent death god user, all that jazz.
Because of
So I'm
Maze,
making
yeah.
use, yeah, because of Maze, exactly.
Maze is like completely changing the game for in-game players, which is really cool. It's something that I highly wanted. So I've heard a lot of great things about Maze, and how fun it is. So
Yeah, we didn't really talk much about Maze at all,
no,
right?
no, I know,
No.
yeah,
I mean, I'll just quickly my input on Maze. I thought for the beta, it was amazing. It definitely showcased or made me realize that what I thought I had built up wasn't actually up to par in terms of like those certain floors, like for instance, like Death God, like having, being able to have units to like make use of that,
yeah,
or just in general having units built up like
right,
I thought I did.
right,
It made me realize that I didn't, which is very humbling
yeah,
and cool. I like that. I am excited for the future maze and see
yes,
what they implement. Hopefully, they don't implement bullshit stages like
right,
B16. I don't know if you guys. It was just like 30 million HP, 7 waves of the same shit.
gotcha.
Obviously, there was ways to go about it, but for the most part, it was just super annoying. But all in all, I think it was a very good first time, and I'm excited to see what they bring in the later floors.
Right, right, and it trains your mind in a different way, and that's just the way I looked at it too. When I started, the little floors I did play, I was like, holy shit, I never thought about it this way. So
Yep,
yeah, it's a good
absolutely.
way to develop a good mindset on how things work in the game. It's a good training factor as well. So when you guys do get there, I think you guys have a lot of fun. And occasionally, if when we do the podcast, if you guys need any help, please just go ahead and drop it in the comments below, and we'll try to ask you. I mean, we'll try to answer any questions that you guys have regarding, just like today on the towers. If you guys are struggling, please don't be scared to ask any questions. We'll definitely try to help you guys out. But as far as anything
Yeah.
else, guys, anything else we want to talk about for the end this today?
I think I'm good.
All
I
right.
think that was
Okay.
it.
All right. So we're going to close it out. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. We had a blast hanging out with you. Again, we try to do this every Sunday, but there's not content. Next week is probably going to be a little bit of a dead week, so we most likely won't see us until the following week. But again, if you guys have any questions, as soon as the podcast ends, drop in the comments below. We'll try to answer you, as quickly as possible. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys.